This is an opportunity that we can't pass on.
Welcome back in 2024 to sunny Palmerston North for the search for supremacy in the 2024 AA Secondary School Nationals. First up, we've got Mount Maunganui versus Manakuta, the local school. It's going to be great action, of course. We've got 3 courts going on. Find them all across YouTube. Can't wait for you to tune in. Let's go to the first game on the show court. Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena for Secondary School Nationals in 2024. My name is Andrew Horrocks. Will I be joined by someone today? Who knows? But we are on here on the show court for boys AA action. We have Manakuta taking on Mount Maunganui. As we zoom in on the referees to begin, And we will get started with the team lists firstly for Manakura. And we have number 4, Tiffany Harrison, number 5, Isaac Bell, number 6, Awatia Burden, number 7, Devon Blake Kaiwai, number 8, Elijah Manau, number 9, Kingi Rakuraku, number 10, Tukarepa Nikora, 12, Micah Tapsel, number 13, Reri Haukere Tepiti, 14, Terera Pukitapu, 15, Shirlane Jack Beckham, and 20, Iramana Harrison. The head coach, the big man himself, Te Toa Tamata Frost, and the assistant coach is Shay Brown. Flipping over to Mount Maunganui College, and we have number 8, Jet Nelson, number 9, Werahiko Burrell, 7, Charlie Rapson, number 13, Jeremy Frew, number 5, Flynn Rapson, number 10, Cole Hopoi, number 14, Josiah Awina, number 2, Hoko Teopera Horn, number 22, Malik Firi, number 23, Kara Hopoi, and number 19, Cruz McDonald. Head coach is David Hopoi, and assistant coach is Brooke Rapson. So just while we have a little bit of time before we get this game underway, just want to thank, of course, all of our sponsors. Our major partner for this year is Foot Locker. Of course, this is all a broadcast through Whakata Māori on YouTube. The host association, as always, they do such a superb job, Basketball Manawatu. And the referees, Russell Gavin and Daniel Lee. Our funding partners, of course, got to give them a big shout out, New Zealand Community Trust, 4 Winds, and Lion Foundation. If you do want to follow along this tournament online, just head to nz.basketball and go into the Schools Hub. They've done such a superb job. We're just collating all that information, everything you need. Everything you could possibly want is there. So it is going to be Mount Maunganui in the red and Manakura in the black. This is their first year playing double A's. Historically, they've always played single A's and done very well. Now making their way up. So the differentiator, if they are a single-sex school, double A is 300 and above. This is in terms of roll size. And then for co-ed schools, 600 and above. Schools, if they are smaller though, can still choose if they want to go for double A's. So Russell Gavin puts the ball in the air, and it is tipped by Hopoi, and away come Mount Maunganui College. And a kick to the corner. Thinking about the Kuruwhiwhi Toru, decides against it. Manakura here in a man-to-man defense. And that is going to stay with Mount Maunganui. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Good defense early there from Manakura. As we see the little sideline inbounds, here's Hopoi to the hoop and it draws the Hada. And joined in the commentary box by the big man, my best mate in Palmerston North, it is Big Miles Pearce. How you going, Miles?
G'day, mate. What's going on?
Just enjoying it. How have you been enjoying the day so far?
Oh, look, it's been a wonderful morning. I've had a strong coffee and we'll probably need a second one shortly.
As Hopoi converts the first there.
I'm not playing and I'm already tired. It's been great. I've watched a couple of games so far. It started too early. I'm enjoying what I've seen. There's some great talent throughout. I just watched the single A game. Hatsapolda versus Te Araha.
Bodies on the floor for the tūrapa, ends up with Manakura. Well, you know what they always say, Miles, the most tiring job is actually just watching or managing. It's the players, they get looked after the most, but it's everyone else who's got to look after themselves.
Oh, it's definitely the managers. Managing is the toughest job, without a doubt, as we see Manakura open their scoring.
Manakura making the step up to double A's this year. Miles, you've coached them both. What do you think the biggest difference between single A and double A is outside of school size?
School size? No, the big difference really is because of the school size. It is just a selection. The number of kids you can select from. And you're right. I've done some stuff at both double A and single A. Example, double A, our very first meeting to start stuff when I was at Palmy Boys, we had about 80 kids turn up. This year I did some stuff at Scott's College, and I've been down there for a couple of years. We had 25 kids turn up. And Scott's is their high school co-ed is about 650 kids. And Palmy boys is 1,800 boys. Yeah, and so it's just the number of athletes you can select from. And if you look at Manakura's roster, they just don't have some of the same size that, that Carter Hopoi brings. But they got some, the talent across the board is still, there's talent everywhere. It doesn't matter how big your school are. And Manakura is a school, their whole school roll, both boys and girls high school, under 200.
I thought we might see a little half-court trap there from Mount Maunganui College, but they just pull back into man-to-man, little pull-up. And the tūrapa into the safe hands there for Mount Maunganui College, Jeremy Frew. Here's Hopoi. He's a kid you probably would have seen a lot of. What do you think his biggest strengths are?
Carter.
Yeah, Carter.
Yeah, Carter Hopoi. Like he's long. He moves really well. He's got the ability, and he's been working on this. And you can see it over the last couple of years. The ability to start shooting the three more, which is great. And he's kind of got, shout out to his coach. But his the coach is his old man, and Dave was just tough as nails, and he's got some of that toughness to him, which is really cool.
What do you think those coaches' sons have got different compared to other kids? Like what? I know obviously it's an advantage just being able to talk hoops over dinner, but what do you think that the key advantages for those kids?
It's just and this goes for any kid in any game, whether it's a coach or just someone involved. It's just an extended exposure to the game from an earlier age. And I saw Nick Horvath walk through to watching one of the games earlier. Now Nick's got two kids. They both play. They've just been exposed to sport, and the expectation of a high-level sport for both mum and dad is really good, as we see Mount Maunganui score an easy one inside.
Yeah, lovely dish there off the Papamoody, and 2 easy points there for Mount Maunganui College. Going under there on the screen as well. Something to watch is the tip from Flynn Rapson, and it's going to stay a Manakura ball. 11 seconds on the shot clock.
The Rapson family, big family in basketball in New Zealand, been doing a lot of basketball at high levels for a long time, as we see short shot clock. Manel kicks out.
Great pakete there for Manakura. Is the mid-range making a comeback, Miles?
Well, I think it is. And the reason why I am in this belief is you've got so many defenses trying to take away the three and stuff at the rim. And so right now, the thing that they're giving up is the mid-range. And so you've got to now be proficient in that mid-range shot to counteract, because if you keep trying to take away the three, you've got to give that. Oh, great deflection.
Again, Rapson to the hoop. Step through, leaves it short. And the tūrapa to Manel. It's just that natural evolution, isn't it, of basketball?
It is, and it's always the constant ever-changing things. You think about Thibodeau's defensive stuff when he was at Chicago and what he's doing now. It's different, from when he was at Chicago to New York, but still a very defensive-minded guy. What do you think about the Cat trade?
I think it's good for New York. They finally got that. I mean, Cat's maybe not that superstar, but he seems to be that bigger presence that they needed. Minnesota, I think they're going to have a lot of spacing issues inside with Gobert.
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. But Randall has shot it better. Like, just on a random tangent about is the mid-range coming back. But you look at guys like Cat and Wemby, and some of their big 7-footers are shooting the three. But which is absolutely fantastic, as we see a corner three there from Manel off. I was lucky enough to coach him for a little while, and his sister. Shout out to Sayus if you're watching. We won a title there with Manakura girls a couple of years ago now. But the whole thing, what are you willing to give up? What are you going to live with as a coach defensively? And for a lot of the people, they're like, okay, the mid-range. Analytics say that the mid-range is.
As the Hunters drawn, a lot of contact there.
There was. great drive. Charlie Rapson putting the ball on the floor, creating that contact.
So having a look here on the action replay, he just didn't slide his feet across in time.
Not quite square.
It's always intriguing, analytics and high school athletes. How far do you go with them? And then as well, how early do you start bringing kids into the analytics of sport?
Well,
because it's a deep hole. It can be a very deep hole.
Oh yeah, this is a spiral. We can get to the dark places quite quickly when you go there. But as a coach, you know, it's an amazing thing. And I was listening to a podcast with Jeff Van Gundy, and he was talking about the analytics that he got when he was coaching. He gave very little onto the players. But he used, him as a coaching staff, they used it all the time because that helped them be better. But what do the players need to know? That's a huge part of it, you know. And you know, after on a catch and shoot, I'm a great percentage. On a 1 dribble, my percentage drops. On a 2 dribble, my percentage drops. On a 3rd dribble or more, my percentage goes up. Well, you're not going to tell an athlete that, because now they're going to start counting dribbles, and you know that can start messing with people's minds a little more than you possibly want.
As timeout taken here from Tia Tamara Frost. Very active hands from both Flynn and Charlie.
Yeah, just the ability to apply that pressure. They've forced a couple of turnovers already.
So Miles, day one, what's going through your head as a coach? Are you worried at all about what other teams are doing and trying to watch their early games, or are you just completely in the bubble of this is what our team needs to do?
The first one for me is please BBNZ don't put me on a 9 o'clock game. And that's just a very early wake up on day one. No, like, in all honesty, everything has got to be about you, unless you can get some film or footage or a little bit of a scout on someone. Because right now, Mount Maunganui and Manukura are not in the same place. This is the first time they would have played against each other and seen each other a year. So you've got to have a little bit of a selfish view, unless you can get some of that. But with games going on in your pool right now, it might be, hey, you're my manager, you're a parent of someone, you're a sibling of someone. Can you go grab a half of this game or that game, so you can start putting some things together for the end of day one, day two, and moving forward.
Manukura to inbound, little 2-2-1 press here from Mount Maunganui. We're looking to trap it halfway, and then bodies converge inside the paint. That was a nice little shifting move there for the floater. Yes,
and Devon is going to be one of the guys, Devon Blake is going to be one of the guys that keeps ticking the scoreboard over for Manukura, as we see Carter Hopoi all the way to the rim. He can provide, like you said, he's a little bit shifty, can provide a bit of a scoring punch.
Nice little move there from Manukura, but active hands from Ko Hopoi. And away come Mount Maunganui again. I feel like they've had all the momentum, at least in the half court, but only up 4.
And it's one of those things that if you watch the game without the scoreboard, sometimes the score can sometimes be misleading.
I thought we almost were going to get one of the great passes, but not to be. Deemed to travel, and Manukura ball.
And it's, you know, Manukura from Manawatu. They play here in this facility a lot, but don't play on this court. And so even though it's a little bit, they get the advantage, they get to sleep in their own bed. But even here, this is Mount Maunganui's first time, you know, out here this tournament. This is that Manukura's first time out here in this tournament, as we see some great hustle there. Manukura unable to keep the ball. And Rapson finishes that one.
Lovely kick ahead pass too. I mean, it's interesting, I was talking to someone on the plane down this morning about if I was a teenager, me being on a live stream game, I probably mentally would have been a bit shaky. I mean, for you played obviously a lot professionally, but when was the first time that you were in a televised game or a streamed game? Maybe not a streamed one. Oh, Hopoi up top.
Carter going baseline with a little one-handed reverse. Look, streaming is more modern than my basketball playing. So we'll get that one right out of there. That's a great question. Possibly something at college. Maybe one of the, maybe something growing up in Australia, as we see Manel get called for that one. Yeah, but then, and then we've got, as we see the little baseline drive, help defense doesn't come across, and
That step through was nice too.
oh boy, finishing above the rim. But I'm just trying to think. Definitely when I was, my first year playing was with the Sydney Kings in the professional league. So it was the college, maybe the Kings. We're talking like back in the 1800s, man.
You're not that old, Miles.
Don't tell anyone that. The I'm older than Google. I'm older than the internet. That's old. As we see Blake, great faith.
Just so good. Stops on two, keeps his pivot foot alive, allows for the great step through his hot boy again. And like you talked about earlier with the height, Manakuta, that's the toughest matchup that they're going to have in this game.
And that's on the both boys' side and girls' side. Watching Te Aroha, Pookie Lendon was coaching, his son's playing. He's got some size and length, and you know, that's a huge advantage in single A because there's just not that many bigger kids at single A schools. Now, there are some, and there have been some amazing players come through.
Was it Rochelle? Did you have Rochelle at Manakuta?
Yes. Ended up doing Rochelle, she was playing for Coach Joe Frost when I was doing some stuff there as well. Ended up having a great career over in college.
Again, lovely finish there from Charlie Rapson.
They won a single A championship.
I remember Jack Andrew as well as the other one that always sticks out in my head.
Yes. I think one of my favorite players of all time watching this tournament, Richie Roger, came out of a single A school. He was tough from the deep south. Now applying his trade, as we said earlier, there's Carter Hopoi's ability to go and take that three.
The Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good for Charlie Rapson. And now 24-12, Mount Maunganui over Manakuta, first quarter. Here in boys AA action, this will be their first pool game. It's Devin Blake Kaiwai straight back.
Able to answer there, and that's something that he's really improved on. His ability, like you said, a little bit shifty, his ability to put the ball on the floor and get into the lane is great. Elbow jumper gets that to go as our scoring's really picked up here at the end of the first.
Well, I was listening to you and Kayla earlier this morning, and you were talking about if your whole team had shot 10 threes, that was a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you don't shoot 10 threes a quarter, it feels like it's a low number.
And that's, it's just funny. Like, that's just no. And if you watch some basketball from yesteryear, we got two posts playing. Oh, great hustle.
Yeah, good sportsmanship as well. We like that.
My first couple of years playing as a youngster, coach was like, man, if you've shot, 10 threes by halftime, coach is like, whoa, guys, wind it down, man. That's too many. And now, if you've shot that many at halftime, coach is like, guys, we need to shoot the ball more. So, just a change in style of play, and you look at the popularity of the three-point shot and Steph Curry and what he's done. The evolution of that over the last 5 to 10 years has been amazing.
Still man-to-man here from Mount Maunganui. And Manakuta's done a very good job, haven't they, of just getting to that foul line area. They've had that shot every possession that they've wanted it.
Well, that's, the weakness when Mount Maunganui were a little bit of a matchup zone there.
Offensive foul called.
And that's great pressure. Manakuta can try and chip away at this 7-point lead.
That's what I would love to see, is these 6-day tournaments, who can still be doing that on day 5, day 6?
Oh, it's being through this a number of times with both boys, girls, single A, double A, and a number of other tournaments as well. It's interesting to see who's still got the legs to shoot the 3 on day 6. And sometimes if you can do that, that's a huge advantage. And sometimes if you've got the ability to just keep getting to the paint, getting to the foul line, that's the way to chip away and build that lead. In
the bonus, so the Mount will shoot 2. And Manakuta will have the last shot. Yeah, last year, I remember that. Waimea shot the lights out for every game until the final. And whether it was tiredness or it was good defense from Wellington College, and they changed what they did, but they struggled a little bit more shooting on day 6.
And it's strange because this gym here that we're commentating and watching now is it's a much bigger space. It's a lot more open. And for some reason, depth perception can be a little bit different as we see Devin Blake get into the rim, but Carter Hopoi annihilates that shot.
And there should still be some time left on the clock. Or yes, 1 second. So it looks like this might be manually done from the referees. Yeah, it's going to be counted down. 1 second, Manakuta, little stack option. Looked inside, and that is going to do it for quarter time. So Mount Maunganui 28, Manakuta 19. Andrew Horrocks alongside Miles Pearce. For Manakuta, first of all, from what you've seen, what's one little adjustment that they could make that could really just cut into this 9-point deficit, outside of just putting the ball on the hoop more?
Well, they've got to be happy with scoring 19 right now. You know, that's a pretty solid effort offensively. I think the biggest things will be defensively, particularly containing dribble penetration. You saw a number of Mount Maunganui college shots just off that dribble penetration abilities, the dunk from Hopoi, a couple of other finishes by Rapson, just the ability to put the ball on the floor and get into the paint. That is something that they definitely need to tidy up.
On the flip side, for Mount Maunganui College, is there anything that you saw that they could potentially adjust to look to increase this lead?
Well, they had a couple of great, Manakuta had a couple of great looks, like you mentioned, particularly when they fell back to that zone on out of bounds, just the ability to contain that dribble, that jump shot, at the free throw line, that mid-range jump shot. But hey, that could be the thing that they want to give up, and they can, if they're going to live with that, then they're going to live with that.
Now, obviously, you need to win as many games as you possibly can to give yourself better seeding moving forward, but how much in the bag of tricks are you trying to withhold in these early pool games?
You are a genius if you can tell me that, because it really is tough. And there are games where theoretically, and like you've been doing this a long time, so for those who don't know, if you're higher ranked, so if you're ranked first in your pool, you will play the bottom of the pool and then work your way up. Yep. And so theoretically, if you're a higher rank, then you should be able to keep some things hidden, you know, and just sort of hide away a play here or there. You always want to have something in your back pocket for later on, whether that's a special play, something or other, the ability to get a stop or generate a great shot for someone. You always want to have one or two of those on each end of the floor as the tournament goes on. Don't want to show all your cards too soon.
So the team's coming back out onto the floor. It'll be, looks to be, I thought it was going to be Manakuta ball, but it'll be Mount ball. And so Manakuta back out in, looks like a 1-2-2 zone. And they come up with the tūrapa, and away comes Blake Kaiwai for Manakuta, looking to chip away into this lead very early. Very low screen set there, kicks it out. Kuruwhiwhi Toru, no good. Fight for the tūrapa. And again, off the Papamuri, draws the hara. And positive starts there for Manakuta in quarter number 2.
Yeah, the ability to grab that extra possession through an offensive rebound is huge. And this is Carter Hopoi goes to the bench. he's a great rebounder. Well, now everyone else needs to step up when he's not on the floor.
And misses the second, out of bounds, and it is going to be a Monganui ball.
Little extended pressure. Little 1-2-2. Half-court trap.
And that's what you want. You always want the ball getting picked up into a 3-2, it looks like. Just based on the spacing. Tough look there again. Fight for the two-rapper. And the little push shot is good.
That's a great play. Unselfish from Rapson.
And the Hara is drawn. Again, that little screen on the top defender. They've got to make the decision what they're going to do with that middleman in the zone. Are they going to lift him a little bit higher, and then the low defenders have got to creep in to try and stop cutters? As back into a man-to-man. Blake Kaiwai. He's impressive, Miles. He is very impressive.
He is, and like I said earlier, he's the guy that's going to drive some of the scoring for Manukura. And whether he's scoring the ball himself or creating for teammates, it doesn't really matter. His ability to handle the ball, as you see, he gets the ball instantly here. Little drag screen action.
It's a nice little push shot, doesn't it? It's not conventional, but it's working. Was a member of the under-20 Manawatu team for representative basketball.
Long-time rep player here in Manawatu. His older brother was as well.
As a Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good. Jeremy Fruit. And I think that's the Mount's next adjustment, isn't it? They're doing a good job rotating the ball, but the space at the top of the key is wide open if they ever want to make that entry pass off the flash.
And that's where you see a number of zones are attacked through that high post or the low post. So you're right, if we can get that ball into the high post, what's the zone going to do? Are they going to play one-on-one out of that? Are they going to fan out? Are they going to pack it in?
Hopeway back into the game.
Quite a pressured outlet pass there.
That was almost one of the finds of the game. As here comes Hopeway.
But like we said, that's Blake again. Creating, putting the ball on the floor, drawing people. Trying to find a teammate. Manel's pass is deflected.
This is where the Mounts in their best in the open court with the left hand and converts off the Papamuri.
Frew going at it again. A quick 5 points for him.
Off that on board. Blake Kaiwai loves it. Kick into the corner. Into that little short corner. Good offensive set here from Manukura. Even if they haven't scored, they're still were creating positive shots. As to the hoop and nice easy finish. Cole.
But you could see the ball got into that high post area and they were able to take advantage of that and do some work from that area.
Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good. But a slightly different change there from the Mount on their on-ball coverage. Trying to make sure they get over that screen and chase the ball handler rather than... There was a lot more soft coverage in the first quarter. As Carter, there's not much you can really do to stop if you don't have someone of similar height.
Well, Manukura doesn't have that size, so what they might need to look at is trying to deny him and make his catches a little harder rather than work after he's caught the ball, as we see an offensive rebound. Great hands there, knocking the ball loose. Cruz McDonald.
Again, Manukura going under on that screen. And there's the early double, Miles. And harder was called, but I like the aggressiveness and the adjustment.
I do. I'd like to see, but we just said they may need to try and deny that catch, but almost let him catch and then play so high that he has to go baseline and have the second defender right there.
Timeout here taken by Manakuta. And a chance to thank all of our partners, because we have a lot this year, which is good to see. Sport New Zealand, Moulton, Bailey's, New Zealand Carbon Farming, Caltex, Apollo Project, Sport Manawatu, Glory League, GJ Gardner, Palmerston North City Council, InspireNet, and New Zealand Sport Collective. I feel like there was only 3 I had to do the first year I did this, and now it's just getting longer and longer and longer. It's good to see money coming into the grassroots of the sport.
It is, but what a great opportunity for some of these businesses. We've got 3 courts being live streamed. The game has grown and grown and grown, and it is at a level now where we've got more and more athletes doing well on an international stage. Our under-17s just finished 4th at the World Cup. We've got a number of athletes on both the men's and women's side in college. Our Sal's NBL and Toihi League, which is about to kick off shortly, have grown, and we're just getting better and better and better basketball at every level. So why not jump in at the grassroots? I'm
very intrigued to, I guess, delve into your brain a little bit on the under-17s result.
Oh, this is dangerous. Dangerous ground, but go on. Let's go.
Is that a very special group of athletes that we had?
Yes.
Or is that New Zealand moving to Asia, playing more good players all the time?
All of this.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing. I think you're right in the first thing, and it's a very special group. But, you look at Oscar Goodman, who's over at the NBA Academy, Hayden Jones, Lachlan Crate, but the introduction of the Rapid League into the Sal's NBL, almost all of those guys were part of that. The development, the coaching, it's like everything is getting better. Everything is improving, and it's absolutely fantastic to see these opportunities for these guys.
I'm glad you said it was multiple things, because the one thing I'm always scared about as a Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good, is that we have a 2002 repeat where we had a special group, did so incredibly well, and then we're never able to replicate it.
But the group was, and I agree, great find, and even better defensive play by McDonald there. But yes, it is a special group. But the last World Cup that we went to, with Coach Darren Larson, who's with Fielding at the moment, that was a special group. The group that went to Greece, the under-19 group that went to Greece with Gavin Briggs, myself, and Leighton Haddleton, that was a special group. Because if you look at the groups that are coming through, it's like coming to this tournament here. Getting to the World Cup is a very tough thing. You got to go through Oceania and Asia to get to the World Cup. Here, you've got to go through your qualifying tournament. So just being here is a good thing. And then doing well is a whole nother ballgame. But if you look at every single group that we've had on both the men's and women's side, there's some unbelievably fantastic athletes coming through our program right now. And I'm just lucky enough to, if you're lucky enough to be part of that program, then it's a fantastic opportunity to just be a small part of, you see Blake with that little push shot again. You're just a small part of an athlete's journey.
Couldn't have said it any better, Miles. Well done.
Thank you.
Let me find inside. Little spin and the finish.
Weird beliefs that I have. But that group that I got to go to the World Cup with in Greece, Sam Meninga, Max Darling with the Breakers, Cruz Parrott Hunt, James Moore's playing in Europe, Glenn Cameron is with Melbourne United. These guys are having great, successful careers. Oscar Oswald, Maxim Stevens, Isaac Fomasili, just some great guys playing basketball at a high level.
It's awesome when you don't just need to say 1 or 2 names. You can just keep going down the list.
Oh, and
it gets better and better.
Yeah, and it's like that 17s group, which we're lucky enough to have a number of those guys here for this tournament. We get to watch some great athletes play some great basketball. As I was walking over here to pick up the mic with you, I bumped into Jonesy. They just finished the game, had a win for this morning. Fielding, I think Fielding played first round.
Again, active hands. And the Mount again with another steal. We don't have live stats, but you got to think that number's getting close to double digits. Cole, oh boy. What an athlete he seems to be. I don't know as much about him as Carter, having watched him play Rapid League. But another one coming through the ranks.
Just the baby of the bunch. Great timing. Possibly a little unlucky there. We didn't have the angle that the referee does.
Lovely look there, though, of the Kurufaka. One thing I'd like to see at Nationals they bring back is the dunk contest.
That could be impressive. You want to enter?
Miles, you've seen me, you know me, you know that that's not happening. Maybe if they have a junior hoop.
A junior hoop? Okay, we
I'll
can bring out some junior hoops just to make it fun.
8 foot, I might still be able to get that. Oh, trampoline, yeah. We'll get the trampoline out, Rich, and I'll enter. I think I could touch the rim in high school. That was as close
like
as
2 years ago?
I wish. No, even I'm starting to feel a little bit old now, Miles.
We've got a great number of athletes here. The dunk contest would be a spectacular thing, I'm sure.
Maybe we can advertise that to a local business. As there was almost a qualifier for it, but someone come in, put some scholarship money towards it.
Lige getting all the way to the rim on that one, finishing with the left.
And let's bring the dunk contest back. Because there's video on YouTube of, I think it was 2006, and somehow BJ Anthony was still at school and was a judge. I don't know how that worked. Must have sweet talked someone, as only BJ could.
BJ's got a lot of knowledge. I don't know how much of that is Duncan, though.
There's a lovely fight and finish there. 2-on-2 fast break. Yeah, kids, if you want to watch post work and underrated post work, BJ Anthony versus Australia 2009.
Oh, that
some of his finest work.
Yeah, and that really solidified him with a couple of jobs in the Australian League. Rue with the run and hook. Now he is a guy that I love watching him play, because he's a guy that doesn't need the ball in hand. He does all his work and just makes everyone else on court better. And I think every team needs a guy or two like that.
That's what I always love about these tournaments, the unsung heroes, the guys that you don't always expect or haven't heard of through representative basketball.
Yeah.
They just pop up.
And just a little bit of work. Just chips away, chips away, chips away. It's really cool to see those kids come and have success on the national stage here.
As we have another look at the replay here of that little...
Adventurous.
It was almost a volleyball spike, wasn't it?
An adventurous play.
If he'd got that, we could have just turned the live stream off. We were never going to top that. Of course, we do have a few awards to give away this week. First up, Caltech's Good Sport Award. This award goes to someone here at the event who has done amazing things to help others, made a huge effort, or inspired those around them by going well over and beyond. Head to the Basketball New Zealand socials to enter, and this award will be presented at the awards ceremony after the AA finals on Saturday. Entries close 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, 2nd of October. Miles, is Kat managing anyone this week? Is she helping any schools out?
Defending champs.
Westlake again?
Yeah, that's her team. You know, through the junior tall ferns, Bronwyn and her did a lot of work together over the years. And 2 years ago, that was hey, can you come give us a hand? And they won it that year and won it last year. So going for the big three-peat this year. You said, before, that the managers have got to do the most work, I think. So shout out to all the managers who are putting in work and getting everyone fed and laundry done and making sure all the things are happening in the right place in the right time.
Looking for that little down screen there, the Mount. I like that little back curl off it.
Nice little action.
Good active hands there from Manakuta though to sniff it out. They're going to run it from the other side.
Yeah, I was watching the Breakers game and Damon Lowry was playing. Damon Lowry was commentating, and the Breakers got called for a 5-second action, 5-second violation on an action that they tried to run. It was just Damon Lowry's like, it's too complicated. It's too complicated. Just stand there, put your hand in the air, and get the ball. As we see a great move there.
Third time is a charm.
And that's a little bit of size and effort there. Unable through, just adding to his tally, both on the offensive glass and on the score sheet.
Rejects the on ball. Somehow regathers himself in the air, and again, more active hands for the Mount. Looking to run out one-on-one, reverse layup. And again, draws the Hada. But the Mount doing a good job of just chasing those fast breaks, not assuming that anything's going to happen.
And just another offensive rebound for Frew. He's done a power of work this quarter, just chipping away, knocking down some shots, grabbing some rebounds, a couple of deflections on the defensive end.
And this is the first. I was laughing, the commentators last night were a bit disappointed that there was no burgers up for it, given the game was in New Zealand. How much does that play in your head as a player? Are you thinking about that at all?
Oh, no. Not at all. Not at all. I wasn't the greatest of free throw shooters, but I still, it was just like, let's get over and done with and move on to the next play.
Two-2-1 press here from the Mount. Is it going to be actual pressure? It looks like they're going to be a half-court trap. Here it comes. And they got the desired result.
And sometimes, like you said, is it going to be actual pressure? Sometimes those show of a press or a trap can more do things mentally than anything else. That wasn't a super aggressive quick trap. They got after it a little bit, but it was more of the mental error to a fumble, as we see. That dribble penetration again from Mount Maunganui College.
Great finish from Awina. I thought they might hold for the last shot, but it's going to be Manakuta. Kurufifi Toru out of the corner is long, and still 5 seconds to the Mount. Great kick ahead pass. Nelson step back. Kurufifi Toru is short. And so that'll do it for the first half. Mount Maunganui College up over Manakuta 55-36. As we take a look at the stands, we're going to take a quick break and be back with the second half.
Pats? Raue. Pekka? Sino pai? Taiaha.
Ko mōhi o koe ki te hanga o te kai kōrero. I runga I te āhua o tana rāka.
Oi. Croc.
Manu kōrero, the makers of Rangatira. Mātaki ki te reo me Māori Plus.
Rangatira.
This season, Basketball New Zealand takes coaching to the next level. Featuring BNZ Kiwi Hoops and 2 Degrees Girls Got Game on Coachmate. For coaches, discover engaging practices with ready-made plans featuring easy-to-follow games that kids will love. Or tap into your creative side and make your own sessions with our library of great activities that you can learn in under 90 seconds. And level up your coaching skills with lessons, tips, and official resources. Managing a team this year? Get your team in sync with improved team management features, like sharing training and game information. Create polls, see who's attending practice, and communicate directly with parents to arrange things like carpools. Or just share the fun with photo uploads and team chat. Saying yes to coaching has never been easier. Download the free app now and support the next wave of basketball lovers to have their best season yet with Basketball New Zealand on Coachmate.
Okay, guys, twice to sell. You've got past as well. Come and sell. Ladies and gentlemen,
This isn't about what we wore back in the day.
We're going to go now. Going once, going twice. No more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like this multinational company's cold store build contract. All proposals were submitted, but the costs were just too high. So the client chose Apollo to help. We sat down with the client and their consultant and had a think. We challenged them on key points. If we closed up the aisle widths to what was required by the forklifts being used and removed the ceiling to make it the roof, we'd save on materials while lowering the building. With the building now the right height and size, the walls can move away from the boundary, removing the firewall requirement, leading to a 20% reduction in cost and now coming in on budget. Now the building is right-sized, the total cost of ownership is lower, it's safer to build and maintain, and it's on budget. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Mana kore ana tōre wha. Hei, pauri atu.
Welcome back here to Fly Palmy Arena as we just take a look at some of the fans who have made their way down. Don't forget, you can come and watch, 10 courts that are going at the moment. Andrew Horrocks alongside Miles Pearce.
Morena.
Miles, how much do you enjoy just the stroll through the courts?
Oh, I love it.
Getting deeper and deeper into the underbelly of this tournament.
Absolutely love it. And one of the things that I do love is I've been doing some basketball stuff for a minute here. And so it's just great to be able to go from court to court and see people that you've played with or against, and you know, the kids that you've coached, people that you've worked with, friends that you've built along the way. It's quite cool. So I do love that social aspect of these tournaments. Now that I'm not playing, I'm not coaching. This is now the social aspect for me. Plus, I get to sit here and talk some smack with you.
It's always the highlight of my calendar.
Oh yeah, it's definitely it's my highlight every year.
All right, so Manakura in the black are going to get us back underway up against Mount Maunganui College in the red. So underway, looks like man-to-man here early from Mount Maunganui College in the third quarter. Saw a lot of 2-on-2 zone out of them in quarter number 2. Great cut from the 45. With the turned-up into the hands of Charlie Rapson. An offensive foul was called.
And you've got to be happy with, MK's got to be happy with that look. You know, something right at the rim, great cut. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish. But then with some pressure against Rapson, he's forced to clear out a little space, and they end up with the ball back.
Oh, what a shimmy. He shook, but the turned-up into the hands of Hopoi. And here come the Mount, still looking for their first shot of quarter number 3. Kara Kuruwhiwhi Toru is short. And away comes Manel. Great kick to the corner. No resistance at the hoop. And the easiest of Kuruwhikaus for Manakura to get us scoring underway in quarter 3.
And when you've got a little bit of a lead to eat into, those easy ones are what you want to see at the start of the third.
Kuruwhiwhi Toru is good.
And that is
Mount.
not what you want to see on the defensive end. Giving up an open 3.
And that lead now 20 points. Hopoi, I like the little flash to the high post. Rip and go straight away, but...
And this is the speed and athletic ability of Kara Hopoi there. Got caught, ripped on the fake, and still was able to recover.
As we're having a look at here on the action replay, just straight away go, turn, got it.
And sometimes it's good to be fast and tall and bouncy.
One matchup I'm looking forward to in this pool is him playing against Jackson Kiss.
Yeah. And Jackson, one of those guys that was part of the under-17s, was a great find there. One of those guys that was part of that very special group at the under-17 World Cup.
They're trying to use that flash to the high post a lot. Not as effective against man-to-man. A little bit harder to get a clean catch as Kara Kuruwhiwhi Toru is short. And away comes Manel here for Manakura.
Had a couple of shots that fell short so far for Kara, a couple of threes. But very capable and shoots that thing with confidence, which is great.
I do need to look up, Miles. I mean, you might know this off the top of your head. After their very good Asia campaign for the JTBs, where's their World Cup? Do you know?
That's a great question. Matt Lacey, are you listening? Please text me. I want to say Europe somewhere. I want to say Europe. The interwebs will surely know.
If Matt Lace is involved, I guarantee you it's going to be in a very nice place.
Spain. I'm just shouting out places that I wouldn't mind visiting.
I mean, you probably don't. Your integrity is in the right place. But do you ever look, as the arm was extended, but no cool, do you ever look at where tournaments might be and then go, that's a team I might want to work with, just to tick another one off the passport?
I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm definitely not smart enough to do that.
Oh, what a step through back on 2 feet. But again, Carter with that length and athleticism. They've had a lot of success with the 45 cut.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's something they're going to try and get back to as a nice, easy run out there for the Mount. And Cole with the easy 2 points to make this 62-40.
It's once again, like we talked about, Manakura's defense right now is the thing that they probably need to tidy up a little bit and just be able to contain the dribble.
Here's Carter. Doesn't give it. Oh, what a lovely little back cut. And make sure his brother doesn't get an assist. Gets his own tūrapa and puts that in off the Papamuri.
Evil human that he was, but you got to love it.
Manakura drive. Dish gets the defender off the floor into the mid-range. And tūrapa into the hands of Malik Firi. Finds Carter, and now off to the races, the Mount. Reverse layup, no good, and away come Manakura, looking to bite into this lead to the hoop. And it draws the hara.
Switzerland. Thank you, interwebs. Switzerland is the answer.
Now that's the place I wouldn't mind going back to.
Never been. Never been. Played in some pretty cool places, got coached in some amazing places, but Switzerland has not been on the list. We'll take it though.
What's your favourite place you've been to through basketball?
Just place in general. I loved Crete. That was incredible. When we went to the World Cup in Greece. Bangkok was really cool as well. But then I loved when I got to, as we see, great little move there. Devin Blake loses the handle.
And one, great finish.
I was lucky enough to go to Turkey with the Tall Blacks, and that was just it's an amazing spot. If you've never been to Turkey, try and get there. It's phenomenal. Palmerston North.
I mean, Palmerston, I'm surprised that wasn't the first name on your list.
I'm here so often, I just forget that I've been here.
Some great cafes.
There is indeed.
There's some wonderful sunshine that we're not getting to enjoy today.
You can sort of see it peeking through a window, the shadow of a window.
Manatura again to the hoop and one. And was just relentless a little bit there on that drive. What's the best atmosphere you think you've played in? Because whenever you mention Turkey or Crete, I just think of the clips you see of EuroLeague games where flares are going off in the crowd.
I played in Germany, and this was the bit where I was like, oh my, wow, this is not the same. So we went to a gym, and it had this little like football dugout, like enclosed space for the bench. And I was like, what's going on here? And one of the guys was telling me that the fans will throw things at you if you're not playing well. And this is the home team as well. And he said the worst one that they've seen is when they heat up coins and throw hot coins, so they stick to your skin. And so they had this little enclosed, like kind of football dugout shelter thing in there. And so that atmosphere was amazing. West Sydney Razorbacks versus Sydney Kings when I was playing for one of those teams. That was pretty cool. And then Melbourne Giants versus Melbourne Tigers. The Tigers who have now sort of merged into Melbourne United. They were always great atmospheres. So some really cool ones there.
Talk about throwing hot coins. That is something that I feel like the Australia-New Zealand brain cannot comprehend. Something like that happening.
One of the coaches who actually coached here at Manawatu, Mike Calavros, he's now with Olympiacos, and he said that fans setting off flares, that happens at their games. The Greek games are getting feisty. You see, nice behind the back.
Oh, that deserved to go in. Elijah Manau, what a play there from Manakura. It's the beautiful thing, isn't it, of amateur sport, is that moments of magic, I feel like that can happen where it gets away from the precise structure that professional sport can sometimes bring.
The cool thing is, like, there's some flair to the game that, you're right, some structure can almost beat down and beat out the flair. And that's why I love watching some of the EuroLeague stuff, some of the Spanish players. They've just got this exuberance and flair that is fun to watch.
Panathinaikos is one that I started watching last EuroLeague season.
Yeah.
They run some great sets.
The EuroLeague is amazing for some of their sets. Some of the Fibonacci, Olympiacos, they're just Real Madrid. They have just got some high-level basketball going on over in EuroLeague.
It's intriguing, the claim of the ANBL, that they're the second best league in the world. At times I'm like, how much of that is marketing and how much of that is true? But I mean, signing Montrezl Harrell recently, that's quite a big pickup.
That's huge. Does the EuroLeague count as a league? Because it's not.
No, it's a combination of everything, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, Spanish ACB, you could argue is the second best. Japan's got a lot of money in it at the moment.
It does. It does. With the level of stuff coming through Australia right now, the Next Star program, they've got 4 or 5 guys now that have just returned from the NBA. You know, if it's not the second, it's got to be up in the top 3 or 4. It is doing very, very well.
Again, that little cut to the weak side and works for the mount. Someone's going to watch them and just stick somebody right there in one of their future games.
Yeah. A little bit of ball, and you know, I'm nitpicking on this stuff, but a little bit more ball pressure on the inbounder could take that away as well. It's really a lovely spin move there.
Burrell off glass. And this is, I mean, the big win potentially here for the Mount is not to say that Manakura cannot come back in this game, because 27 points with 13 minutes is still very doable as they're trying to get to there, but the amount of rest that Carter can get as this tournament goes on, I feel like in games like this are going to be crucial as well to their chances as they move through it.
Well, one of the things that we mentioned earlier is just that game after game, 6 days for the AA. And, you know, if you can rest your main guys in any situation at any time, it's a huge advantage for day 5 and 6. Day 5 and 6, where, you know, all the crossovers, quarterfinals, semifinals, things like that. So those are the ones that you want to be rested for.
I always think the key one is if you can get first in your pool, you get that extra game of rest as well.
Yes.
Now that they've got those second and third playoffs. Great double there from Manakura. Still ends up with the Mount. And travel is called. But their double on the post seems to be giving the Mount a little bit of trouble, as they're happy just to sit back now in a 2-3 zone. Look for an early on ball here. Little X action, high-low, and kick ball. That'll be a reset shot clock as well to 14 for Manakura. If they could just sit someone on that weak side wing, every time they get that high post catch, there's going to be a 45 cut and a layup.
And I love that 45 cut. And you know, we talked about some of the EuroLeague stuff and the European actions. That the 45 cut on a baseline drive or that catch, it's very European. As we see, just a little fumble there from Mount Maunganui.
Again, it's just that ball pressure, isn't it?
Yep. But, you know, some of these actions are now drifting out of Europe across the world, and they're good for a reason. It's because they work.
Hara is called there. That should be 2 shots and will be. One that I always like to see, and Charlie Dalton does it so well, that baseline cut as well.
Chaz. Lucky enough to work with him as part of that junior national program. Unfortunately, COVID ruined our party to go to an Oceania championship.
I think just one of the happiest kids I've ever coached. That guy just is a bundle of joyous energy.
He's a good egg. We'll keep him around. Plying his trade at the moment in the US. Living close to the beach, doing some volleyball stuff as well.
Not that I have any influence on any kids' decisions, but whenever they ask, where should I go, I always say, how close can you get to a beach?
See, I don't do that. I am a beach person. And I talked to Cruz about this when he signed in Dakota. I was like, I would never do that. Because I'm not I don't like the cold.
Well, it's not New Zealand conditions,
It's got nothing to do with that, you know. And so, but if you love the cold,
go for it.
Go for it. Have at it. It's just not for me. And so when I talk to some of the kids, I'm like, hey, what 3 or 4 things you want to hang your hat on? Because temperature and beach is clearly one for you. You know, as for me, I don't want to be like Denver, no, too cold. You know, Minnesota, Horvath, I love you, but that's just an icicle. Like, it's just not happening. So for some guys, and like Logan Ellers is a great example of this. Mark Ellers still coaching and involved with Rotorua basketball, which is great to see. But Logan had some great offers from really good schools and then chose the school based on what he wanted to study. So he ended up doing engineering at the Hard Rockers. That's a great name for a team, the Hard Rockers. But chose that because of what he could study at that school. And I think that that's important, you know. You've got to hang your hat on. For me, I am the same. I'm like, can I get close to a beach? Unfortunately, I was at Virginia Beach, which was not quite the same. Like, yes, the word beach is in it, but it's sort of like going to Foxton Beach, and it's just not quite the same.
Shout out to Foxton, though. What a great part of New Zealand. Kuruwhiwhi Toru is no good. Yeah, look at Tom Beattie going to Hawaii. And I'm like, smart kid.
He's awesome, you know, and he was talking to Chaminade and almost signed with Chaminade, which is just down the road, you know, it's same in Hawaii. And before an offer came through from the Division I University of Hawaii, and he signed there. He's doing fantastic things. They got a pretty good squad this year. Their coaching staff on both the boys and girls side have been out for the last 3 or 4 years since we got out of COVID to do some recruiting, and I think it's showing. We've got 3 girls on that girls squad at Hawaii right now, and Tom Beattie's there. They'll probably try and get someone else.
Okay, I'm going to put you on a spot here, Miles. If you had to rank, so this is if you were going to a school now.
Yeah.
Location.
Mm-hmm.
Studies.
Yeah.
Level of basketball. Is there anything else that I need to put on this list? Let's just go with those 3. What order would you put those 3 in?
Right now?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm in the study frame of mind, so that could be ranked down. I'm gonna sit that one. Location, I've got to enjoy it. And I think that no matter what level of basketball you're playing at, it's got to be the appropriate level, whether that's junior college, Division II, NAIA, NCAA, whatever it is. So I'm starting location, just because I think the location, like you said, you're a beach person. If I've got the ability to get outside and go to the beach, this is making my general day better. If my general day is better, I'm going to enjoy the experience more. Then level of basketball, and unfortunately, I've done my time for studying, so I'm gonna sit that one down. Now, if I'm young again, yeah, the study one might be a little higher, as we see a couple of the Jets boys there. Josh Payne and Xavier Pern. Campbell Scott as well down there. Needs a haircut.
I think I'd like to see this year with the Rapid League. I feel like there's better cohesion between high school athletes and in the local professional clubs.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's just the exposure, and they're usually training partners, but actually seeing young males, and then it'll be females as well, Tauihi, getting court time. It's cool to see.
Absolutely fantastic to see. And this is part of the, part of the thing with the under-17s. A number of those guys were in Rapid League setups.
Nice little baseline cut there into the short corner. Got that X pass. And great finish with the left hand. As away come the mount again. And just took a couple of steps before putting the ball on the floor. And it'll be Manakuta ball.
That little stampede catch was a little too stampede-y. See some more teams roll in across the baseline. Fielding High School walking in.
It's always intriguing as well how much slower that walk gets from day 1 to day 6.
Oh, yeah. Or if there's a close game on when you walk in, or your friends are watching, great little baseline drive and not quite executed, the little hammer screen.
right, the mount. Are they going to go back to what's given them success in this action? Try to. Kuruwhiwhi Toru on the way. And the tūrapa away comes Devon Blake Kaiwai. Off the early on ball. Good sag there from the mount. And big block away come the mount. Are they going to get anything in transition? No, Manau is going to have a lovely dump off and a finish for Manakura. Just trying to move a little bit too quickly there, the mount. And again, up and finish and one. Charlie Rapson.
And it is something that you see a lot with youth basketball. The quick becomes hurried, the fast becomes rushed, and the ability to have composure at that speed sometimes goes a little awry. And we have some turnovers, some handling errors, whatever it might be.
And it converts the M1. Get our first look at Westlake boys. Coming into the stadium, didn't qualify in 2023. I think Mike Lacey was trying to figure out the last time that it had happened that Westlake boys hadn't qualified.
Well, the big one was Westlake and Rangi.
Yes, that's a good point.
Rangi hasn't qualified this year. Westlake finally made it back, and but you know those two were a powerhouse. You know, for a number of years, both of them were winning titles in finals, you name it, and everyone goes through their ups and downs. But it was a little bit of a shot not to have either of them here last year.
Carter gets stripped, and away come Manakura. Blake Kaiwai, lovely kick to the corner.
Not sure.
Great move.
Great move. Not sure if there was a little piece of that. Just an easy one there with the little bounce pass from Hopoi.
Interesting to see how much he plays in quarter number 4.
Yeah, the balance of, you know, getting your legs under you at a tournament and then resting. They have a pretty big game coming up this afternoon.
When you travel to tournaments, how many on-court sessions did it take you to feel like you had your legs under you? Or as you just got more experience, it became a more and more natural thing?
You just get used to, like, particularly in New Zealand, because it's such a tournament drip, because geographically it's very hard to get a lot of games against different people. Auckland's got a bit of an advantage with the population there. Christchurch, the same sort of thing. But, you know, you look at Mount Maunganui, you know, they got to travel. You look at Manawatu, 2 hours to Wellington. It's not like you're just popping down for a game every day. So, you know, geographically is a challenge here in New Zealand. So the tournament play, the more tournaments you play, the more you get used to what's going on.
Five seconds deemed near, so it'll be Manakura ball. And looking to cut into this Mount Maunganui lead. Here on day number 1, we do have 2 other courts going for the first time in 2024. I think 2 years ago we only had the 1 court.
I know, it was so much easier. We didn't have to move as far.
I know, do look at the commute sometimes if you've got to move from court to court, as the Kuruwhiwhi Toru is short.
Oh yeah, I've got to get all the way from here to court 4 shortly.
I love the camera shot though on court 3. I think you were doing that with Kayla this morning.
I was indeed. Reminiscing about her championship. She was very slow to bring this up. I was not. Unbelievable run Coach Trent Adam had with New Plymouth girls, and including a championship that Kayla was part of. She got MVP that year.
I was wondering if that was going to get brought up in the very first game. She did.
Well, I brought it up. I'm not sure if she called an earlier game, but I definitely brought that up. I remember that game, and she kicked some major butt right across the board.
Did 4 years at Tulane after that.
Yes.
Down in Louisiana.
Now, that's a place that I could go to school. Warm enough and some good food.
No good on the pakete. And again, great kick ahead here from the mount. But just not quite executing to the level that they want to. Deemed that it was tipped and it would be Manakura ball.
I think my jealous moment for college has got to go to Oscar Oswald. Part
Do
of
elaborate.
the junior tall black.
Yep.
Was at St. Ed's in Austin, Texas.
Texas looks fun.
And Austin is incredible. Austin is a lot of fun. And there's not a whole lot of beach in Texas, but the barbecue down there is unbelievable. And so he made a deal because Kat was his high school, his intermediate teacher. They made a deal. She may have encouraged him to play / forced, but they made a deal as a 11-year-old, 12-year-old, whatever it was. But if he gets to college, that she'd go watch. So we took a trip. We stopped in California, went and saw Callum McRae, who was at UC Riverside at the time, and then popped on down. He's now in Japan, had 19 and 17 rebounds in the first game. 19 points, 17 rebounds in Japan. He messages me to let me know. I'm disappointed that he didn't have 20 rebounds.
What league's he playing in Japan? Is he playing the same as Dan Fotu?
Yes, yep.
That's cool. There's a lot of Kiwis playing against each other over there.
Oh, yeah. But Oscar got the luckiest one because he got all the good barbecue for 5 years. We'll take it.
How many kilos heavier did he come home?
Oh, a few. He was very skinny when he left here. He was very skinny. I remember he told me that when they got there, they did a physical test, some physical testing. One of them was a bench press test. He had to bench press 185 pounds as many times as he could at the start.
How many did he get?
It wasn't a big number. It's quite a round number, actually. I believe that first time was 0.
It's interesting, though, how much scouts read into it. I mean, people always talk about Kevin Durant, and he got 0 on that test, on the NBA testing, and then,
he's okay.
He worked out all right.
Yeah. Interesting. Like, an absolutely phenomenal scorer, as we see. Almost a highlight play. But, you know, just an elite level scorer. Would you say he's a winner? He has won championships, but is he a winner?
There's so many ways to answer that question.
I know, and I'm putting you in the deep end right now.
I think anyone who makes the NBA is a winner.
Okay, there we go.
Because the financial gains of what you get. Now, I mean, obviously those top guys, does the money matter?
We don't get the same amount for commentating these games as the NBA guys?
I mean, it's still being discussed, but I don't think so. Why do you think we keep coming back, Miles?
I just like talking smack with you as we see a great corner 3 from MK.
But it is, I mean, those top guys, right, the money ultimately is not their driving factor.
No.
Do I think Kevin Durant is a winner? No, I don't.
Okay, there you go.
I think he's... Okay, another Kurufifi Toru. I think early on, yeah, you could say he was building something in Oklahoma.
In OKC, yep.
He then jumped and took Golden State over the top again. But then since then, I mean, the moves he's made, have they been basketball moves when he's been changing teams, or are they trying to line himself with different owners to get potentially set himself up for life after basketball?
Well, look, I think with the contracts that a lot of these NBA guys sign, if they do well with money, then it's going to be their setup. I like the move to Phoenix to try and align with Chris Paul and try and be in a winning program. But you're right, it's tough because he won at Golden State, but they were a very established team, you know, and it was still Steph's team from the get-go. In my opinion.
I was talking to fellow commentator Greg Elliott about this morning on the plane ride.
Yes.
And it's so hard now to... I know everyone grows up and they've got a favourite team, but just with the amount that players move around now, it's hard for groups to get 3-4 years.
Are you a player guy or are you a team guy?
See, I mean, we're a little bit older. I'm still a team guy.
Okay, there we
I'm still
go.
a Miami guy, but I completely understand.
Why are you a Miami guy?
Sean Marks was playing for them when I started following basketball.
There we go. Great answer.
I think Cook Penny was there the year after.
Yep.
So there's a little New Zealand connection. I thought that's my team.
There you go.
What about you?
Look, I have some friends doing great things at a number of different teams, which I follow quite closely. But my first team ever, I started playing basketball in '94 as a charming little 16-year-old kid, which you can probably do the math on how old I am now. And it was hilarious because I was like, wow, I really like this blue team. They just started a fight. And that was the New York Knicks. And that was like the Ewing, Oakley, like all that sort of thing. So
was Mark Jackson still their point guard at that point?
I think he might have been. Xavier McDaniel was there. So it was just this real thuggish, rough, tumble team. And the very first game that I watched, there was a fight. I was like, man, this blue team is my team. Like they're out there literally throwing punches. And so I thought that was a whole lot of fun to watch, and they became my team. I had no idea at that stage, none, about who was good, what was going on. I just saw a game and saw a fight and thought that was the team. And little did I know that they hadn't won a championship since the 70s, and they still haven't.
I remember a conversation I had with Kevin Braswell, and he was like, if you truly want to understand basketball, you should stop watching the game as a fan. And maybe that's why kids don't support teams as much anymore, and they support players, because they're, as Nikara gets up, as we see a timeout taken here from the Mount, seeing something they didn't like with a minute to play, but maybe that's why people, and I guess social media, right? You get to know players a little bit better.
Yep.
Through everything that they market.
I mean, one of the things that really has changed is how certain people of certain ages sort of take in information and how they consume that information. And if you look at all the athletes here competing, we've got, sort of 14, 15 years old through to 18 years old. And all of these people have grown up and live in this social media world where the biggest medium is highlights.
So we're having a look at one there.
There we go. But it's a vastly different process. Being able to watch reels and things like that, which are normally a minute or two long max, and that's how they consume that content. Whereas there was none of that. When I started, there was like Kayla and I were talking about MySpace and trying to upgrade that, But it's a different thing. And I was at Nick Horvath's house watching basketball with his son, who was in year 5 at the time. This was last year. And his favorite player right now is Luka Doncic. And so we got, Nick's got league pass. We're watching some games. And that's the only way. Atlas doesn't have a phone. Atlas, he's year 5. He doesn't have anything else. And so we're watching this game. He's like, Dad, why would they do that against the drop coverage? He's 9 years old. He's already dissecting different coverage. And he just watches whole games. He doesn't watch highlight packages. He just consumes that as game by game by game.
Kids today are so lucky. I remember when I was growing up, you got the 2 games on ESPN a week. And that was it. You didn't know who was going to play or not going to play. You didn't have the injury reports beforehand. It was just that Thursday afternoon and Saturday afternoon game.
Which is great, right? The fact that we've got, right now, we're here, we've got 3 courts covered. We've got Toihi kicking off in a week's time. Yeah, just over a week's time. The Sal's NBL, every game covered. NBA, WNBA. The tertiary games. I was just down in Walter Nash, checking out some of the tertiary games there. We've got, it's just a phenomenal amount of basketball that's being able to be watched.
That's going to do it here in game number 1 on the show court. Mount Maunganui College taking down Manakura 95-69. Andrew Horrocks alongside Miles Pearce. Thank you for sticking with us. Of course, don't forget to check out the other courts that are going on, and then we'll have a game tipping off on this court in just over 20 minutes. Go get some lunch, enjoy some sunshine, and we will see you shortly.
Sport is about more than just the game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. It's learning when to back yourself or back your buddies. It's actually being excited to get out of bed early on a Saturday. Sport is about more than just the game. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
This season, Basketball New Zealand takes coaching to the next level, featuring BNZ Kiwi Hoops and 2 Degrees Girls Got Game on CoachMate. For coaches, discover engaging practices with ready-made plans featuring easy-to-follow games that kids will love. Or tap into your creative side and make your own sessions with our library of great activities that you can learn in under 90 seconds. And level up your coaching skills with lessons, tips, and official resources. Managing a team this year? Get your team in sync with improved team management features, like sharing training and game information. Create polls, see who's attending practice, and communicate directly with parents to arrange things like carpools. Or just share the fun with photo uploads and team chat. Saying yes to coaching has never been easier. Download the free app now and support the next wave of basketball lovers to have their best season yet with Basketball New Zealand on CoachMate.
Okay, guys, twice to sell. We've got passports, we're going to sell. Ladies and gentlemen,
This isn't about what we wore back in the day.
we're going to go now. We're going once, we're going twice. No more offers. Sold!
It's about being trusted to get a better result for our clients since 1973.
The forest should never have been taken off this steep hill country that's eroding, and it makes absolute sense to afforest those hills. What we're doing here is using the exotics to help that process get established. We're looking at a managed transition process where those pines are progressively thinned as the native understory establishes. We're trying to do several things here. Soak up carbon, establish native forest, and we're trying to improve biodiversity. You're achieving an awful lot with one program of activity.
Mana kore ana tōre wha. Ei, pauri atu.
It will be... Sorry.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass on.
No mai, haere mai, and welcome back to Fly Palmy Arena. This time for boys single A action. We have Takura Otakotu up against a Greymouth High School. And always exciting to see boys single A action. So, just the kicker for people who are unsure how this works. So, if there is a co-ed school, then to be eligible to play single A's, they do have the option to place double A's if they so choose. They need to be under 600 students. If they are single sex, then it is under 300 students to be eligible. Hopefully, hanging on the rim there doesn't impede anything. We're going to get into the team lists. First of all, for Greymouth High School, we've got number 3, Callan Maguire-Lowe. Number 4, Archie Haldane. Number 10, Jake Preeb. Number 11, Caden Miller. Number 12, Nathan Kelsall. 13, William England. 14, Noah Maris. 21, Messiah Taurima Leach. 27, Blake Cleland. 33, Harley Andrew. 34, Jonathan Mulhane. Head coach, Corbin McMillan, and assistant coach, Brenda Tomkinson. On the other side, for Takura Otakotu, number 13, Mahairai Awaratini. 15, Jamal Tikihunia. Number 20, Arateri Douglas Corona. 21, Hone Curtis. 22, Takapua Mihaka. 23, Tario Moana Hihi. Oh, hi, sorry, apologies for that one. 27, Rio. 32, Ahepene Werahiko. 33, Na Tiaki. And 35, Te Afe Oriwata Grace. Head coach, Jacob Tautari. Assistant coach, Poa Douglas Corona. So tail of the tape for these two teams as we look at the referees, Shane Coles and Tainui Tetieri. For Takura Otakotu finished 6th in 2023 and finished 6th. So for single A's in qualifying, it is split between North Island and South Island. They finished 6th in North Island. And then for Greymouth, finished 11th in 2023. And they finished 5th in South Island qualifying. And they have already played one game in this tournament. They played Ngātahatia and lost 86-101. So it's their second game. And then for Takura Otakotu, it is their first game of the 2024 Secondary School Nationals. Greymouth will be in the blue with the green. And then Takura Otakotu in the yellow. And I do apologise, there are a few numbers that are different to what I've got on the score sheet, so if I do not mention your family players, family family's number. Just because I don't have on the sheet with me, as an easy layup and in for Douglas Corona. And another steal and finish there. Perfect start already for Takura Otakotu in their very first action here in 2024. Straight onto the show court in Fly Palmy Arena. Here's Greymouth stripped again. Off to the races. Go Takura Otakotu. And the Kuru Whakau is good. And it is already 6-0 here for Takura Otakotu. Off the high on-ball screen, thought about pulling that back. And Greymouth here. Kurufifi Toru is off the tapa, but offensive tūrapa into the hands of Haldane and draws the hara. So misses the first Kuru Tautuku. And it converts the second one, so first points on the board here for Greymouth. As again, Takura Otakotu just happy to work things around. 2-3 zone it looks like for Greymouth. And out of bounds is determined, so it'll be a Greymouth ball. Away come Greymouth, just a little spacing issue there, but happy to work the ball up the top into the weak side on ball. And a bit strong there off the tapa into the tūrapa, into the safe hands of Mihaka. Takotu off the on ball, steps through into the little floater. And away comes Haldane for Greymouth. Little hezzy, and goes up, hits the tapa. And draws the hara. And converts the first. And so away come Takura Otakotu. A little bit of higher pressure there from Greymouth. As step through and Greymouth come away with the ball, kick ahead. And a nice, easy Kuru Whakau there for William England. And suddenly it's back to a 1-point game after the hot start from Takura Otakotu. Into the corner, Kurufifi Toru is short, offensive tūrapa. And the hara is drawn. And drawing that was Jonathan Mulhane. That is going to be hara number Toru, sorry, on Takura. And let's see here what Greymouth can drop out of the on-ball. Happy to work things around the perimeter. Kurufifi Toru is short, offensive tūrapa into the hands and up and in for Blake Cleland. Very easy finish for him with the left hand. And suddenly Greymouth have taken the lead here, 7-6. And away here come Greymouth again. And travel is deemed. Tūrapa into the hands of Greymouth again, off on the run. Kuruwhiwhi Toru out of the corner is short, and the Tūrapa into the hands of Douglas Corona. And away come Te Kura o Te Koutou. 2-3 zone here still from Greymouth. Nice little drive. And deemed to have been tipped. Will stay Te Kura o Te Koutou ball out of the side on ball. Side inbound, apologies. So let's see what they draw out of the box formation. Extra pass was there and is given. Kuruwhiwhi Toru is short, doesn't catch any of the tapa. And a little miscommunication on the court there. Someone thought that there was only a couple seconds left. And so it is going to be Te Kura o Te Koutou a ball. And I'd like to introduce into the commentary box the first person I've ever met who has got lost coming into the show court commentary booth. Greg Elliott, how are you going?
Oh, kia ora, Andrew. Happy to be here. Had a bit of a longer game prior to this one, so a bit out of breath, not going to lie. Sprinted to get here. Happy to be here. How have you been going, man? How's the main court going? How's the action?
Well, unlike you, Greg, there's not much of a battle feel on this court. Everyone's got off to a good start. Both teams offensively lighting it up. And some heavy contact, draws the hara and is going to go and shoot a kuru tautuku. Sounds like you had a game that got you to 190 beats per minute.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. And on top of that, I've bumped into some of the greats. We've got Aaron Bailey-Noel. You've got Phil Jones down there.
What a name drops, guy.
Your twin brother, Sam Dempster, was good to see him too. Dap up the boys. And
the bald bucket.
I'm trying to be like, I've got to get to the next gig. So happy to be here. And hey, Te Kotu and Greymouth High. 7-6. Close game early, Hoss.
Yeah, well, I mean, people at home, Greg, you could have had it up on your phone as well just while you were finishing your other game. Te Kura o Te Koutou got out to a very hot start, up 6-0. Couple of baskets in the first minute, and then Greymouth just getting out and running a little bit more. They've set into a 2-3 zone, which is working nicely for them. Te Kura o Te Koutou have a lot of opportunities to shoot the Kuruwhiwhi Toru. Decided they want to try and attack the basket early, and that's the state of play as we currently are sitting here.
And how good is this beautiful, beautiful main court here at Fly Palmy Arena? Well set up. BB&Z, hats off. Palmerston itself. I love the big score. How would you describe that, Oz?
The scoreboard?
Yeah.
Is there any oxygen going to your brain at the moment?
I'll tell you what, man. I've listened to Kayla. She has been absolutely amazing, just fluent reo on my previous court. I've sprinted over here, and it's good to join the bald voice in his element, doing his thing.
Shout out to all 135 of you that are watching right now. If you do have anything that you want to let us know, if it's any little factual information to talk about on this commentary, then please on Instagram, G_Elliot12. He will get back to you very quickly if you so happen. Don't forget as well, Court 4 is also going on at the moment. Well, it will be shortly.
Yeah, another couple of names we bumped into on the way was Carl Neuer and Zach Easthope, the brains trust there at Westlake.
Was Zach East? Oh, because I was talking to Corey from Westlake, and he was saying it was Zach Freeland.
No,
I didn't realise it was Zach Easthope.
Yeah, so
a close personal friend of yours.
Mate, I was just going about my business, my mahi, and having a great kōrero with Kayla Maruirarangi, who's see a huge
the Kuruwhiwhi Toru.
William England.
He shot that one from deep.
No need to put any English on that. Straight cash from William.
I'm looking forward to you cancelling us on day one.
I've been on my best behaviour on the previous two.
I don't know about you, but I don't have a flexi fare on my flight. I'm here till Sunday afternoon.
Hey, you got the golf clubs.
True.
Yeah, there you go. You see a great drive there.
Draws the hara and is going to shoot a couple of kuru tautukus.
Awatiri Douglas Karauna.
And again, we do have to apologise. Some of the numbers on the Takuro Takotu players' backs are different to what we have on the score sheet. This always happens at Nationals. It's just the reality of it is that the numbers are not entered to BBNZ correctly. We don't know who that's from. We're not blaming anyone. It's just the way that it works every year. By day 2, day 3, day 4, that all gets sharpened up and it becomes a very slick and well-oiled machine. Much like you in the commentary booth, is that some extra oil that you've got going into here at the moment now that you're doing a few live pieces to camera?
Well, that's why, pause Carlton would stroke the mullet. Bit of product in there just to let it. As I said, I've grown it out especially just to show respect and love to the local talent like Campbell Scott, Liam Judd, and
lovely putback there from Jake Preeb. Why you think of that?
Yeah, Simon Lafayette. So I grew out my mullet, Hoz, in terms for this event. So
I'm growing up my mullet in spirit.
We've had a busy day, haven't we?
We have.
We've flown in from a cancelled flight last night from Auckland.
As the hara is drawn and we'll shoot a couple of kurita tukus.
And we've arrived here on this beautiful Palmerston day. Teira has made a huge appearance outside, Oz. It's a beautiful day. We won't see much of it.
If you are in the region and you are not down here at Fly Palmy Arena, I know it's day one, so I'll give you a little bit of grace because it is a beautiful day outside for the first day of school holidays as we enter daylight saving. But moving into the tournament, into the business end, as the first Kuratau Tuku is put into the basket, you have no excuse, Greg, not to get on down to Fly Palmy Arena and take on 10 courts of action. Somehow, it got greenlit that we have 3 courts on the live stream this year, but there's still 7 other courts for you to take on if you want to just mosey on down. Palmerston North's got some great coffee bars as well, some of the great cafes. I was talking to Miles Pearce about some of his favourites.
Oh, he would know. He would definitely know some of the hot spots around Palmy.
A little goosey, and the hara is drawn. And that is only going to be the second hara on a Greymouth high. Out to a 14-8 lead over Takuro Takotu. This is Takura's first game of these championships. Greymouth's already played. Had the very tough ask of taking on Ngātahatia.
And how did that?
Went down 86-101, but if you're losing to Ngātahatia by 15, you are doing a pretty good job early, and they're only going to grow into this tournament.
CA Wild, Kayla Maru Irarangi taking a well-deserved commentary break. She makes her way to the...
Was that 3 straight she did earlier?
Yeah. So
I feel lazy. This is only game 2.
Hats off to the Queenie of Mahi.
It was talking to Miles. She doesn't like to bring it up. 2014 national champion, MVP of girls AA.
Oh, I wonder how much we can just reiterate that over the week ahead.
If I am fortunate enough to do a game with Kayla at these championships, that will be brought up. Lovely little action there into the high post off the Papamuri, and away to Takuro Takotu. 2-on-1 with the right hand. Gives it a little bit of Greg Elliott sauce and it finishes on the right hand, on the left side. And 2 easy points there for Takuro Takotu, and straight back come Greymouth off the tapa. Offensive tūrapa is gleaned. And it's just those active hands, Greg, that are making it tough for anyone to get a good hold of the Golden Goose.
Mate, it's been a huge glaring stat so far. So throughout the games we've commentated already, just the crashing of the offensive boards. It's the team that really is putting that body on the line and has some of that extra tall timber and is able to crash the glass and create second, third chance opportunities. It'll go a long way for your team to win the match, as we see number 21 there for a Greymouth, Messiah Taurima Alich.
Yeah, I got asked before by Miles if I was going to enter the dunk contest if they brought it back. Obviously, I've never crashed an offensive rebound in my life.
You've crashed a car, though.
No. We're not getting back into this. It's only day 1. Marcus, if you're listening, pause. That crash was not my fault. Thank you. Insurance and the police back me up. And away come Takura Otakotu. Little half-court potential trap here from Greymouth. Easily dribbled through. And a huge kick out. Kurufifi Toru is long. And draws the heart and decides he wants the Toru the old-fashioned way. Greg, you've played a lot more high-level basketball than I have. Do you find it different shooting in these arenas? You probably did it at shoot-around back in the Rangers days. Do you find it different shooting on these arena hoops as opposed to ones that are clipped onto the wall?
Yeah, even just going through the various courts, as you'll know from wandering between the commentary gigs we're doing today, just even the lighting is different. Anything can change. I mean, sometimes if the shot's going down, there's nothing wrong with it. However, if your shot's missing, it's very easy to find a reason or an excuse as to why that is. And quite often hoops or stadiums or floors or whatever can cop that heat for the reasons being as to why things aren't going the way you had planned. And I'm sure we're having a bit of a feel-out period today with all teams on day one, going up against opposition outside of your usual territories. And some of the smaller schools may not have had that same opportunity as the bigger schools to what you might call scouting.
Yeah, well, I did notice our numbers just dropped on the stream as Fielding versus Christ College as a great take from Callum Maguire low to the hoop. That's about to kick off on court 4. So you can tune into Miles Pearce and Maya Williamson if you want to listen to that one. And look, if you're just going on commentary teams, Greg, I don't blame people if they want to jump courts.
Mate, maybe for me, but when you've got the board voice himself that's come through and, you're on the main event here, or the main court, I should say, and what a court it is. Having our group over there in one corporate box, being up here in the media centre. I tell you what, the camera crew, officials.
Why have you not followed your dad into being a used car salesman? It blows my mind. Here's Takura Takotu to the hoop. And the two-rapa is grained by William England. Off to the races, Greymouth. And sometimes, Greg, if you've got a fast break, you've got to leave someone back because Takura Takotu there got an easy look at the hoop.
Nathan sobied it, Hoz.
Yes, what a game that was last night. South East Melbourne versus the Breakers. As Takura Takotu bring it up down 3 here from Greymouth. Minute 30 to play. Little on ball. Greymouth going over the action easily. Not losing contain at all. Happy here to play man to man. Little pump fake and a short. Tip out to the hoop.
Great find. Oh.
And there's just, someone's got a lid on these hoops early, Greg.
It is a track meet so far. We're going up and down the court. It's like one of those tennis matches. The eyes are going there and the eyes are
watching you on the
back.
assault bike at City Fitness. I was not talking to Tiatoa before their game beforehand, but if I had, I would have said there's a lot to look out for from GREG.
The mighty Tiatoa in the province of the Manawatu. As we see a huge defensive play there from a like-minded mullet, Nathan Kelsall.
Called for the Hara though. Of course, there's no live stats currently, so we do apologise for that. But if anyone has a stat book at home and wants to tag along and let us know again at G_Elliot12 on Instagram. Flood him with messages. He is always looking for new things to add to the toolkit in his commentary repertoire.
Oh, if people want to chat Poeta Kohu, I'm always here for it, Hoz. And I have joined you now. I saw you standing, pacing back and forth, really, becoming part of your mahi and your surroundings. So I've stood up too. I feel like I was missing out. And then I tell you what, I feel...
Just trying to open the lungs up, Greg. We've got to do 25 games each this week. It's already got a couple of vocal zones that have been completed. Shout out Chemist Warehouse.
No, I appreciate your...
that's the same when you... live if he touches it. No. So 37.6 Takura Otakotu challenge here to tie the game up down 2. Sorry, Greg, you were saying.
Sorry there. Yeah, no, just really was about to just give you your flowers too. as a man that's been here, done that many, many times. You see another foul. Oh, offensive. Thank you for the tip of the vocal zone. Hopefully come Saturday, the vocals are still where they need to be.
2-1-2 zone here from Takuto to get the tip, but it's going to stay Greymouth ball, 18.1, and we're going to see what they got in their bag of tricks from the inbound. Just a simple, they're going to let the offense play out as it should.
The main thing here, Hoz, you do not want to give the opposition another bite of the cherry.
And again, it's those offensive rebounds that you talked about, Greg.
The Messiah himself, Torima Leach.
That looked pretty good here from the commentary booth. So quarter time, Greymouth high 20, Takuto 16. Greg, I know you missed a bit of this game, so you don't have the complete picture, the Picasso, if you will.
Enlighten me, please.
But what have you taken from what you have watched thus far?
Well, I'm really impressed with the effort level so far. I mean, we've seen a couple of baskets missed. However, both teams getting up and down the court rapidly. Really impressed so far with Messiah Torima Leach. Seems to be quite aggressive on the glass. And at 2016, it's early days, Hoz, but really, really impressed so far with both sides. And yeah, it's early days still as well. Ironing out any, maybe some of your sets. Hopefully you'd have things down pat by now, but it's easy to show up in a new city, a new town, and put everything onto the court. So
yeah, they'd still have a few things you'd think just hidden away for later on in the tournament.
But it's been really nice, I guess, just from a personal perspective, just bumping into a few of the elite names, you could say, the who's who of basketball around the country. Everyone's showing up. So not only is it the phenomenal talent coming through the ranks here of our schools, of our kura, but also some of the names that a national tournament will draw in as sometimes they're coaches, sometimes they're fans, and sometimes they're both. It's good to see.
Yeah, of course, don't forget we've still got a few awards that we're giving away this week. And the second one I want to talk about is the Bailey's Altogether Better Award.
Oh, that's nice.
So Bailey's are excited to offer your schools the chance to win a $200 travel voucher to assist with the cost of attending secondary school nationals for 2024. To enter, head to the BBNZ Instagram page, find the Win with Bailey's post, and comment telling us why your team is #AltogetherBetter. Entries close 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, 2nd of October. Greg, how good would a travel voucher be?
Oh, I tell you what, some of the sponsors and the prizes that have been offered up is amazing. Not only is it a chance to take home a national title for your school, but I think Maya put me onto the fact that $200 per player for the tournament 5. And there's even going to be a half-court shot. Yeah.
Who by? Foot Locker.
Foot Locker, yeah. So, don't quote Maya Williamson on that, the great Maya Williamson.
Yeah,
and
if you've got any, if she's wrong and you want to give any feedback, it's Maya_baller on Twitter.
If you've got baller in your handle.
Big steal.
Oh. Every part of the drama there on that layup.
I was saying to Miles as well, there's no way when I was 16 I would have coped with being on a live stream game. Nowadays, kids are just so natural with this stuff.
Oh, mate, this is the big stage. The lights don't shine much brighter than this. Comes to...
Well, we can see on the scoreboard, it's time to shine. Liam Collins has done a good job getting that up there as well. New scoreboard, it looks like, for 2024.
That is a fantastic little war cry. It's time to shine.
Kurifefi Toru is good. And Greymouth extend their lead now to 25-18 over Takuto.
I've introduced both Kayla and Maya to my new catchphrase, Hoz, which is Hoake. And
what does that mean?
Let's go. And beloved Reo.
I'm looking forward to you blowing your voice if something requires that phrase this week. Not going to be able to speak on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic.
There was a while there on that previous game where I just sat and listened to the effervescent Kayla Maru Irarangi and her reo. She said she's not fluent in it. And I'm like, you've literally put more sentences together than I have potentially in English. And also I say I can speak German and there's no way.
I did appreciate we were talking to Kayla this morning just about the reo and incorporating it into our commentary.
Mm.
And she said at the end of the day, everyone is on their own journey with the language.
Yes.
And there are people who are far, far away better with their te reo than she is.
Mm.
And I'm probably going to get criticised on Instagram once again from someone for what I just said. But, I mean, yeah. It's good to see that you're adding stuff in that is not on our list of things to say. So good on you, Greg.
Do you know, that's a lot coming from you, don't get me wrong. But I also heard that from Kayla. She was very impressed with what I brought to the table in my reo. So, yeah, the fact that it came from her was huge. But, hey, I digress, my friend. We're at 27-20, Greymouth High. And it's interesting, on the scoreboard, it's Greymouth with an A, not an E, but hey.
Well, the reason they put an A in there is because their effort levels at the moment have been A.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yes.
I thought we were shouting out the people in grey that are doing a fantastic job so far. The GJ Gardner referees. You know, they're in the cauldron without these men and women that put on the grey. It's almost like the Superman costume. Without them, we would not have the game, the volunteers, the officials, everyone that's here.
Well, shout out to Greymouth High School as well. Did you know, Greg, it is the largest school on the west coast of New Zealand?
My grandma is actually from Greymouth, the Black Bull Hilton Hotel. So, yeah, no, I know very well about Greymouth.
Favourite spot there?
The Black Bull Hilton. Which is...
Second favourite spot?
Just the beaches.
I thought we were going to look for a little high on ball there from Greymouth. Ball on the floor. Kuruwhiwhi Toru had to go up as the shot clock expired. Incredible defensive possession there from Takura Otakotu. And they're going to come away. Greymouth, interesting there, Greg. We're happy to pull back and let the Kuruwhiwhi Toru be shot.
Yeah, I'm looking, if I'm the coaching staff there, for at least, you at least want to see a contested hand. I mean, you don't have to sprint and close out if someone hasn't been making the shots, but the last thing you want to do is give them a clear line of sight on the basket, because I'm sure any of these young men can heat up.
To the hoop. And it was a great on-ball scene, Scret. To the two-upper to Takura Otakotu. So shifty in the air, these young kids now. No one just goes straight up. You've got to move it around.
Well, it's not like you have to go down to the internet cafe and pay money to see some YouTube highlights. You know.
What an era that was.
Guys are watching now.
Were you a Dota guy?
What was that? Dota.
It's like World of Warcraft.
Oh, no, I was Battlefield. Yeah. But, no, I've been really impressed with Archie Haldane there for Greymouth. And they're pushing the pace. Greymouth, he's usually there or thereabouts. But is that a...
It's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to see.
Day one, main court, unsportsmanlike. And...
Converts both, and it's going to stay Takura Otakotu ball. So a chance for a potential 5-point play here and tie this one up with 6:48 to play here in quarter number 2. Game 2 on the show court. To the hoop. And short, and away come Greymouth. And it's going to end up a one-on-one situation. 2 long strides. And well defended, and the tūrapa corralled from Takura Otakotu.
Tough for Haldane there. He's had 2 of those. Obviously a great spin move and kick out to the corner. But Haldane has had 2 fast-break opportunities and just missing out on the finish.
I have been wondering, Greg, is there any relation to Bo and Tyler?
Well, I thought so, especially given the curly hair. But might be one of those reaching out to those boys to see, hey, have you got a little relative floating around Greymouth? He's putting in some absolute mahi here today. on the main court. Ball in hand, kicks it off to number 14, Noel Maris.
Both teams just going a little bit cold here. And let's be honest, this is actually the coldest court in the entire stadium. You're coming in like thinking it's a cold day, you move through the stadium, Greg, as you have a few times this morning, and it just gets warmer and warmer, doesn't it, as you get into the heart of the stadium.
Oh, I'm happy to have found my breath, that's for sure, Hoz. But you're 100% correct. Just even the sound here is it's very, very quiet. Once you start walking through the building, I said to Maya earlier, one thing I've noticed is the majority of teams are carrying some impressive boom boxes, and the music is blaring. Westlake boys, guilty as charged. They were loving their pre-hype music, very Anahaku-esque.
Yeah, when you were back at John McGlashan, what did you guys use to bring the noise pre-match? Tape deck.
One of the boys probably had a mixtape from a girl. Some mixed CDs, those were the days. The old lime wire and burning some CDs, Hoz. You've probably infected your
There's a few people listening to this commentary who have no idea what you're talking about, Greg.
Until you've infected your family computer with a LimeWire virus, you haven't lived.
2-3 zone here for Greymouth, and just a little bit of a communication there. Looked like they were trying to move back into man-to-man. Allowed an easy drive and finish for Takura Takotu. 5:20 to play here in quarter 2. 1 point game. Greg, we could have an absolute barnstormer to finish.
I tell you what, I really want to shout out number 34 for Takura Takotu. He's been fantastic. However, they said we can't match up the name to the number.
Maybe at halftime, Greg, I will go down. We'll save your legs. And I will go down and double check the number. So for the second half, we can have it all aligned. As a big steal out to the races.
There it is.
And the easy Kurufaka'u.
Haldane, that's his third opportunity there in the recent time, and then he's made the most of that one, and it'd be great to see that go down. Oh, maybe out of bounds? Yes.
Yeah, called.
Hey, the personnel in grey don't miss anything.
We're going to see a timeout taken here from Takura Takotu. That's going to be their second timeout of the half. Greg, why do you think they need a little korero?
Oh, I think, yeah, no, Takotu just really, they're getting back into this game, and I think Greymouth probably want to just talk things over. Both sides pressure. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing so far from both sides. Greymouth getting out to some fast break opportunities. As I said, number 34 for Takura or Takotu. Really, really impressed with him so far too. Looking forward to a plethora or a great amount of basketball in front of us in this game here. And I'm really happy, Oz, because the games commentated so far have all come down to the wire. I hope this is another one. No one ever really wants to see a blowout. I'm sure if all the people at home in Greymouth are hoping for the opposite, and the same for the region of the Takura or Takotu boys. But hey, from a fan and commentary perspective, would love to see this go down to the wire. As we see Jackson Stubbins entering the arena, the Wellington Saints assistant coach. Good to see him. Good to see some of those assistant coaches in the NBL partaking in the high school side of things too.
Well, I think we saw, didn't we, this year with the Rapid League, there's been such a better synergy between, it's held Dane to the hoop very, very easily, but a better synergy between the NBL teams and then the high schools that play our pathway through Rapid League into Sal's NBL, and Tauihi League is just getting closer and closer.
Oh, speaking of closer and closer and Tauihi League.
As the Kurufefi Toru is good. Back to a 4-point game. Sorry, Greg.
No, that's tipping off this weekend as well. So once things have all finished up here, we'll have some Tauihi League, so there'll still be some basketball.
It never stops these days. As the hara is drawn into the line is going to go Jonathan Mulhane. And if you are watching this and you're interested in the fielding score and you don't have it up on the double screen, That's what they're there for. Fielding is up 13-10 against Christ College. 2:39 to play there in the first quarter. So that one's probably going to finish after this one. So, Greg,
I
if
tell
this
you
is
what,
a barnstormer, watch it all the way through and then quickly switch over. It's like red zone for high school basketball, isn't it great?
your mahi for, all the extras is just unprecedented. People don't see the behind the scenes, but you've got screens set up. Mate, the ability to focus on what's in front of you and then check every now and again to see what's going on elsewhere to inform the viewers. That's why you're the big dog on the main court, my friend.
We shall see. It looks like it was going to be a drag screen, but they pull out of it into the on-ball. Haldane. Yes, what a finish off the Papamuri. And converts 36-31. Greymouth.
Really impressed with Haldane. He has no fear with his drives, sort of drove at 2 defenders there and came out with the goods. And playing some defense too at the other end.
I like the take there from Takuta. Now it's a 2-on-2. And great wall up there in transition from Takuta Otakotu. Just snuffing out that opportunity there for Greymouth. Now into a half-court set on ball. They like that there. Step through and short. And whenever you hear it, hey, you always think the foul's going to be called, but not given. And Harley Andrew puts that back up and in.
No, I'm happy there for Jonathan Mulhane. Did the initial mahi and then rewarded at the end. So Greymouth digging in and extend out to a 7-point lead, but Takuta Otakotu with the answer.
But again, it's just those kick aheads for Greymouth. Just got caught a little bit low there. Good wall up on the defensive end.
Yeah, they'll be ruining some of these potential points that are left out there. Oh, with a tough finish.
Off the Papamuri and in. Didn't even touch the tupper. Oh! Big block, but a little contact as he went up. And is going to draw the hudder. Wouldn't mind another look at this. As we see here on the action replay, and yeah, just body to body. And we're going to see a timeout here taken from Greymouth. Hadn't used one yet in the first half, so not a bad idea, Greg, to a minute 49, maybe stripped. How you think the next 3 possessions are going to go?
What I do hope for Takuta Otakotu is that they're maybe just saying, hey, look, we're making a basket, and then how are Greymouth beating us back down the court and getting not necessarily an uncontested layup, but they're getting to the tupper with ease. So hopefully you want to address that. Whoever's, obviously the furthest back defender needs to be picking up anyone that's leaking out. Just trying to limit those transition buckets because they are putting in huge mahi at one end, trying to obviously get a score. But if you're putting in huge work at one end and giving up easy baskets the other, it's going to be a long day, Hoz.
It is, and especially, for Greymouth, it's their second game of the day. You can only, in this age group, play maximum 2 games a day. So they can kind of leave it all out there, then spend the rest of the day, maybe get a little sunshine, head down to the local cafe. What other hot spots do you like in Palmerston North Group?
Oh, it could be the hot and colds. Well, I'm sure the majority of these boys can't visit the Spates Ale House, but they've got good artwork. Hey, it's good to see that Greymouth back at the line, and they have been feasting here, Hoz, at the free throw line.
I'm just going to let that one breathe for a couple more seconds. Yes, doesn't convert there on the Kuritautuku. And it makes the second one, so 1 of 2. Greymouth back out to a 2-possession lead, 39-35. Minute 45 to play. And it looks like it is a 2-2-1 zone here from Greymouth. Not one that you see very often. Usually it's a 1-3-1. But Takuta Otakotu, Greg, haven't looked to shoot that many Kurufifi Torus.
No, doing the majority of their work.
Maybe that's why Greymouth's just happy to sit in the paint and really collapse that defense.
clog the paint, make it difficult. But again, Greymouth High getting a nice direct line to the basket as we see 34 again. That is my guy, Takura Otakotu. And for number 34, he's really shouldering the majority of that offense.
Offensive foul called as well, but that's what you like to see, isn't it, Greg? If no one's going to pick you up in the half court, just keep going.
You did ask me earlier what were my favourite attractions here at Palmy, and when we were here with the Rangers and whatnot, we didn't really get to hang around and get a good look at things. But hey, the Victoria Esplanade, Tamanawa Museum, there's a New Zealand Rugby Museum here. There's plenty of things to do. I want to check out the Cathedral of the Holy Spirit too.
I'm amazed you know all these things off the top of your head. As a lovely finish from Blake Cleland, just took the little bit of contact, readjusted. And we're going to see as Takura Otakotu, are they going to take a shot here quickly? Or are they going to hold it round and take a strong final possession?
Oh,
that was blocked.
Fingertips there from Caden Miller.
Not deemed to have had possession, so it's still going to be 7 seconds on the shot clock. Which I thought was the correct call. Never had control of it. Kuruwhiwhi Toru en route. Off the Papa Moody. It is a Monday. The bank is open. And it is a 1-point game. Greymouth are going to have the last shot of quarter number 2. Into their favourite little action.
If Takura Otakotu could keep this to a 1-point game to go into the half.
As they commit the hara. Commentators cursed there from Greg Elliott.
Yeah, I don't want to say anything whilst he's going to the line, Jonathan Mulhane. Let's see what he's got in the bag. The Greg Elliott two dribble pull-up, free throw. Clean.
Converts the first. Now this is the real momentum one. If they can convert the second, set up their defense, and try and hold Takura Otakotu to a long shot. No one picks up the ball early. Great kick ahead pass. One dribble blocked. Ooh. And that is going to do it for the first half. Greymouth High School 43, Takura Otakotu 40. Andrew Horrocks alongside Greg Elliott. We're going to take a quick break and be back with the second half.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
I'm Jason Bill, and we farm around the Mid-North. We took a review of our business a couple of years ago, sort of identified challenges that we had. One was profitability, and we'd noticed on our steep hill country we're getting more and more erosion. We looked around to diversify, looked at forestry to plant on our steeper country. For us, it really addressed those concerns. By doing the forest farm model, we feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. And I'm really excited, and I really do believe in this model. I think it's the way of the future.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like at this dairy dryer. The cladding on the building that houses the dairy dryer needed to be replaced. So they called us up. First, we inspected the cladding. The cost implications of shutting the dryer down were huge, particularly from the loss of production, which is much higher than the actual reclad costs. So we came together as a team. We said, why don't we replace the cladding while the dryer is still operational? No one had ever done that before, which meant working with the client on hygiene requirements. We wrapped the dryer in 2 layers to create a hygiene envelope, while the old panels were removed and the new ones installed, all while the dryer continued to work. By thinking outside the square and working as a team, the project was completed with no disruption to production, and it was a world first. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
Morena, beautiful people.
Look at me. Look at her.
Whoa.
Hee-haw,
Too much.
Sounds ominous. Keep our kaumatua cool.
Oh, you went all the way to the KKK, eh?
No.
Hurry up!
Okay.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Greg Elliott, apologies for the pause. Just had to go down and check some player numbers. So, thought it was number 15, it's actually number 34, Jamal Tikihunia. That's your guy, Greg.
Jamal has been fantastic. Hey, incredible work rate from you. You've managed to get over to the home base, get that information, and I'm sure, aside from myself, who I appreciate that, I'm sure the listeners at home for the supporters of Te Kura o Te Kotu would love to be able to hear us commentate their lads here and get things correct.
And then the other one was Te Reo Moana. Hi is actually number 48, not number 23. But again, it's just those little admin things that just slip through the cracks early on day one. We'll get it cleaned up as we move deeper into this tournament.
No, that was huge from you, my friend. As I said, covered a lot of ground, got back here in time, and we've got the updated names and numbers. So thank you for bearing with us in that first half as we try to navigate a difficult pathway. Hopefully we did no disservice. And now coming into the second half in a 3-point game, Greymouth looking really, really good with their transition basketball. Haldane in particular, pushing the pace, getting to the tapa, and we see Te Kura o Te Kotu, ball in hand to get us started for the second half.
We're going to see what they look at as Greymouth again, just in his zone. Kuruwhiwhi Toru on ways, and good. Greg, can I get a little let's go from you?
Oh mate, you're going to hear too much of that over the week. I need to...
Never.
But yeah, Hoake!
Shouldn't even need to look at your phone as we get on this week. Kuruwhiwhi Toru on the other end for Greymouth.
Hoake!
Things are heating up early here in Fly Palmy Arena. Boys, single A action. And along there on the Kuruwhiwhi Toru into the hands of Haldane. Greymouth still looking to push things. And the hara is drawn.
None other than Jonathan Mulhane, not afraid to get their hands dirty under the hoop, under the basket.
Well, it's a place I never ventured, Greg, but you're no, I guess, stranger to Bloody Nose Lane, are you?
No, it's interesting. Covering our commentators, we've got guards, Maya, Kaylee, yourself, and then I'd say on the forward of them, Miles Pearce, the big centre himself. So we get the perspectives of multiple positions.
So if anyone's wondering how this tournament is working, so there are 10 teams in total in single A boys. It's going to be 2 pools of 5 round robin. And then I am assuming we're going at semi-finals and finals. So Greg, slightly cutthroat if you've got 3 good teams in your pool, only the top 2 advance.
Yeah, is there a pool of death out there? Was it just from your...
It's nationals, mate. Every pool is a pool of death.
It is true. We've got the best of the best assembled here in Palmerston North.
I'd say anyone that's going to take on Aquinas in pool play is a pool of death from what I've seen of them. Again, out come Greymouth. Little floater off the tapa. Offensive tūrapa. Hits the papa muri. And Te Kura o Te Kotu come up with the tūrapa.
You're really impressed with what I saw from that Aquinas team as well, coached by Ben Taggart out of
No,
the
Alex
Fly setup.
Stojkovic. I guess he's...
Kayla Manu Irarangi with the goosey. She is in no rush to get to her next post, both on the gram and on the commentary.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to seeing the reel that she's put together.
3-point game still here in front of us. The main court, the beautiful... We say it's good when I come and watch the Jets play here. As Miller lets it fly.
Toru is long off the tapa. And another offensive tūrapa, Greg. You talked about it early. You've seen a lot of games already at this tournament, and that has definitely been a focal point for teams who are getting it done.
As you just saw there, the bold voice, we have the offensive rebound claimed by
the
Greymouth.
tūrapa.
And look, they're at the free throw line now because of it. So I'm sure Te Kura or Te Kotu will be looking to limit those as much as possible. But sometimes when you've got the tall timber that Greymouth does seem to have at their disposal, it's going to be a war out there, war of attrition. And Mulhane
converts the second at Kuru Tautuku. And it's once again a 4-point game here. Greymouth high over Te Kura Te Kotu.
Your pronunciation, my friend, has just gone from leaps and bounds. I tell you what.
I will not agree with you, Greg, until it's been confirmed by certain people on Instagram. I'm not getting pulled into that murky depth this year.
Not a known recipient for some lovely feedback on your dale, but I tell you what, man, you've got to give flowers where flowers need to be given. As we see, a phenomenal drive.
I noticed there as well, Greg, I don't know if you saw it, 1-3-1 zone from Greymouth.
Yeah, and that led to Ahipene Werehiko putting the ball on the floor and saying, hey, I'm going to attack the tupper and see what happens. Rewarded at the free throw line. Te Awhi Rewuta Grace enters the fray. And number 22, Te Kapua Mihaka, takes a well-deserved break.
Leaves the second short off the tupper. Little fight for the tūrapa, and away comes Greymouth once again. Just massaged a little 6-point lead here, Greg.
I'm liking seeing that work there from Harley. Andrew down there mixing things up with the big bodies, and
Haldane once again.
He's been huge.
The key piece in the cog, you've got to say, of the well-oiled Greymouth machine.
I've just seen the phenomenal goatee from Caden Miller as well. Very impressive.
Oh, great hands. And away comes Tiki Hunua.
Didn't need to, but Haldane putting in the extra effort there to secure the ball for Greymouth.
Well, I don't blame them, Greg, because I'm not sure if you realise, but it was told to me by Miles that all Star 5 all get $200 Foot Locker vouchers at the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
So if you want to get noticed and you want to stake your claim for a $200 voucher, I'd love one of those.
And there's also a half-court shot too.
Is there?
Yeah.
When's that taking place?
I'm not too sure.
Big
However,
block
that is
from
also
Haldane. And it is 2-0 here for Greymouth. And the easy Kurufaka. Are you taking part? I see you've got some fresh kicks on.
Look, you know, I just want to give, I don't want to take anything away from anyone. I think that's, are you going to get some shots up?
Potentially.
I might as well just hand the voucher to you now then, brother. I've seen you shooting form, you and Ben Fraser mixing things up in one-on-ones. You being the alpha male that you are, showed him what was up. As we see Haldane. What have Greymouth got for us on offense, Hoz?
Just a nice little dribble handoff. They always like to come back into their own ball screen on the weak side. Didn't quite execute there, but again, they just want to see what they get out of that dribble handoff. What about for Te Kura Te Kotu, Greg? What are you looking out for on their offensive scheme?
I just hope they give it to none other than Jamal Tiki Hunia He has been an offensive prowess here for Takura Otakotu. And if they can get it into his hands. Oh, tough in there amongst the tall timber of Greymouth.
Doing a great job there in their interior defense. And again, that is a coach killer whenever a kick ahead pass can be found in a nice, easy kurifaka. As we're going to see subs in here for Greymouth. Jacob Preeb. And 27 Blake Cleveland will take a break.
Tereo Moana Heihi has returned for Takura Otakotu. And we'll get into the offense now. A 12-point game. Would not want to get it too further out if I am Takura Otakotu.
Well, I feel like Greg has just been in the transition game at the moment is where Greymouth is doing all their damage. We just saw it again from Haldane.
Haldane has really been prominent in this push for the Greymouth lead. Is it out to 14 now? Oh, reduced to 12.
Yeah, Tiki Hunia again. Just putting his head down, getting into the lane, and putting the ball on the hoop. Nothing special there, Greg, just good old-fashioned bucket getting. A pakete, if you will.
Sometimes you got to roll up the sleeve, put the hard hat on and go to work. And especially seeing as it's a Monday, Hoz. As we see it again.
Tiki Hunia just gave himself the wrong angle on that one. Away comes Preeb to the hoop with the right hand. And the tūrapa into the hands of Riwata Grace.
And the lungs will be burning. There'll be a bit of lactic acid out there.
Well, there's no lactic acid from Douglas Corona, as we're going to see a timeout taken here from Greymouth. A little bit of an energy spurt here for Takura Otakotu. And Greg, why do you think Greymouth needed to take that timeout, even though they've been on a run themselves?
Yeah, as you said, they've cut it down to 10. We're not in single digits yet, which for me, is probably where you're looking at that danger territory. But just, yeah, if you're starting to eat into the lead, probably good. You've seen your team going up and down the court, expending a heck of a lot of energy. So maybe it's good just to, hey, bring the boys in. Let's have a chat about things, a little bit of a corridor, break it down, what's working for us, what isn't. And if you're down the other side of things, Oz, what are you thinking is being said there by the coaching staff?
For Takura Otakotu? I think it's just got to be their transition defense. If they can stop the ball early for Greymouth, they understand exactly what they're running in the half court. It's just stopping the unpredictability aspect, which you usually get in the first 6 seconds of the shot clock. Offensively for them, I would like to see them try and get a little bit more of a high post catch and then turn in and see what options they've got out of that. It's maybe something they haven't probably utilised as much as they would like thus far in this game. Maybe it's part of the repertoire, maybe it's not. That's all, I guess, part of the learning of day one of Nationals is not only are teams doing scouting of other teams, I guess commentators are doing scouting of different tendencies that people are running as well.
And that's the beautiful thing. That's something I love about commentary is you see these young upcoming stars in the basketball scene, and you know, we get to see these guys as they flourish. We're at the young men stage here of finishing high school. A majority of those, we're seeing some very young high school students here too. So yeah, really impressed with what we've seen so far from both sides. And Greymouth will be looking to get a stop here. Obviously Takura Otakotu looking to eat into the lead some more.
Kurifefi Toru is just short, and big tūrapa there from Mulhane. Takura Otakotu, that's what they needed. They needed that stop in transition. They got it. And jump ball is given. That is going to stay Greymouth ball. Bit of a reprieve there because I thought that Takura Otakotu were going to take that away. Take a look here in the action replay. And yeah, maybe if the referee held half a second longer, we wouldn't have had that call, but how long they decide?
Again at the hoop, and I tell you what, Haldane going to the tapa has really been the theme of this game here. Really taken by the scruff of the neck is Haldane.
Well, it's been the bane of Takura Otakotu's life thus far in this game. And again, Haldane, can he kick it ahead? Yes, he can. 1 on 3. And he liked his odds in that one. And again, it's back up to a 14-point game. The timeout worked.
Hey, the pushing of the basketball here by Greymouth, I think that's something that hopefully that was spoken to the players. Look to get it ahead. If anything's on, go for it. You've got the green light to attack the tupper, and if not, just bring it out and we'll try and get something going with a set offensive in the half-court set.
Haldane took a little bit of a hit there as he was a lot of contact. Tried to pull out. Still grabbing at the ribs. Hopefully nothing serious. Was willing to wall up there, so if he's willing to expose the ribs, Greg, and then make that kick-ahead pass, I think he's fine pretty quickly.
Oh, mate, the vision there to pull the ball on the floor, be looking up court, looking for teammates, head on a swivel, scanning, and, yeah, put the ball right where it was needed for his teammate to finish. Nice 2-point basket there. 63 plays 49 now. Greymouth extending their lead.
Back to court 4, and very quickly, Christ College now up 45-28 over Fielding. If you are interested in boys AA action, Quinn Clinton's turned that game around very quickly. But back to where we are. Still a 1-3-1 zone here from Greymouth. And given and one. I thought he might have taken a couple of steps after the harder was called, but at the end of the day, it's at the referee's discretion. And he's given the basket.
Taki Honea has been absolutely fantastic. There's nothing more that that man could have done for Takura Otakotu so far in this match. He has really taken his opportunities, and we'll see if he can finish, and he does. Adds the extra tahi onto the score.
Good to see Takura Otakotu, a little bit of higher pressure there. Trying to deny a pass. The good ball movement again from Greymouth. Happy to go under all these handoffs. Takura Otakotu, and fight for the two-upper. It's going to end up Takura Otakotu ball, Greg. Final possession of the quarter. A chance to make this a single-digit lead for Greymouth.
I do hope.
Who's taking the shot? It's got to be Taki Honea, right?
Surely. And I hope that they don't give Greymouth a second opportunity with a... Pretty much did what I was hoping they wouldn't do. But alas, it does give Taki Honea a chance here at the free throw line to eat into the lead. However, the flip side of that, it does leave 15.9 on the clock with Greymouth to do work. So we'll see what Taki Honea can do here at the free throw line. However, Greymouth will have the opportunity to get a decent look at the other end. Makes his first. Settles in. Let's see how the second goes. Oh.
No good fight for the two-upper. Takura Otakotu come up with it. Caught underneath. Trying to create space, and another jump ball is given.
And look at me, doesn't know. Hey, look, 6.7 left, and it's Takura Otakotu. It is not Greymouth who will get the last throw of the dice.
Woo! And converts with the Papamuri. And a steal to the hoop. Did he get it off?
I think he did.
I think he did too.
Looking at the team in grey.
There is a conversation. I like that there's a corridor. Who's the, what? You'd think the men's in grey.
Oh.
No basket.
We have the benefit of the view from up here. And
respectfully, we will respect the people on the floor's call. We will not show a replay of that. Okay, maybe we will show a replay of that.
Hey.
Inconclusive.
Yeah, inconclusive.
Inconclusive.
But alas.
They came down to benefit of the doubt, and we'll get the benefit of the doubt to the man in grey. So 3 quarters down. 63-55 Greymouth over Takura Otakotu. Greg, what has stood out to you for Greymouth that's got them into this 8-point lead with 10 minutes to play?
Oh, again, isn't it? It's that Archie Haldane. He's making his presence felt, attacking the rim relentlessly. What I've been really impressed with is Greymouth's ability to push the ball up court, looking for those opportunities. And they're not afraid to, a lot of times, you can catch the ball, have a look at the hoop, something potentially is on, but it might potentially not be at the same time, and you pull it out. However, Greymouth seem unfazed, and they're looking to just attack the hoop relentlessly, which is really good to see. And when I look at attacking relentlessly, I'm looking at Jamal Tiki Honia for Te Kura o Te Kotu. He has been really impressive. We saw there just putting pressure on the inbounds pass, which almost led to another pakete there to end the quarter. So they'll be happy they've got that down to single digits and an 8-point deficit. A mountain to climb, Hoz, but alas, a mountain that can be climbed.
Oh, I mean, you know, if you don't decide to follow your father into used car salesmanship, maybe a career as a motivational speaker is in the line.
It's time to shine.
Pause. A chance, of course, the Caltex Good Sport Award is the next one I want to talk about. This award goes to someone here at the event who has done amazing things to help others, made a huge effort or inspired those around them by going well over and beyond. Head to the BBNZ socials to enter. This award will be presented at the awards ceremony after the AA finals on Saturday. Entries close 11:59 p.m. Wednesday, 2nd of October. Greg, you're way too soon. Award giveaway.
Yep.
Who would you nominate for this award?
Can I do Roshi portfolio?
Hell yes.
That's who I've already seen her out there putting in some serious work. Camera in hand, and I tell you what, it's not a tournament unless I see her in that bandana that I can tell where I can see her, I can spot her, and she's putting in some serious work. And the day, or the job's only getting started here at day one, Tertiary Nationals.
Haldane is blocked away from Te Kura o Te Kotu, but the tūrapa into Masai Tarima Leach's hands, and Haldane again. I just looked up and he was flying through the air.
The Great Dane, Haldane.
Oh, I didn't want to say, but I was actually thinking that.
Hey, don't ever let the voices keeping you back from saying something. Just go for it. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Definitely. I am a corporate Scrooge these days, Greg. Big block again from Haldane as he strides down the court and it draws the hara, just extending that right arm out, saying, I believe I can fly.
I was waiting for someone to start to chop at that extended arm, going for the layup there of Haldane. He's been getting a few of those, so at least they're putting him to the line, making him work for his points.
Converts the first.
Nice release. Getting some spin on the ball. Rotation. Alas, misses the second. But again, look at that. Second, third opportunities. And
Masai Tarima Leach at the third attempt, putting it back up and in, and it's a 13-point lead once again for Greymouth High. I've been entertained by this one, Greg. It's been a good match.
Yeah, both sides quite evenly poised, but I tell you what, the defense has been turned up by Greymouth. A lot of block shots. You know, it's just these small things that you can see the game within the game that, you know, there's a reason why Greymouth has extended their lead. And I think it's the ample opportunities they're getting with their rebounding and also just the defense. A lot of block shots. As we see 22, Te Kapua Mihaka, the free throw line. And he's left that a bit short. He knows it. He's had a laugh about it. That's the main thing.
So long as they can keep a positive mind after those events,
yeah,
that's all you can ever ask for.
Sure, the boys will have a bit of a laugh on back at the accommodation after that.
Haldane thought about it, little handoff, and is stolen away. Come Te Kura o Te Kotu. Haldane gets hands in there and it's going to stay. Te Kura o Te Kotu ball. Waratini. It was, they got the steal.
And we go again and see what Te Kura o Te Kotu's got.
With the ball. And a lot of contact was easy to be heard, making the men in grey's job there very easy.
Did hear a bit of the slap from up here. And he will go to the free throw line.
Converts the first Kuru Tautuku.
You know, even though Greymouth does have this lead, it's 8 minutes 15 on the clock. Plenty of time.
There is so much time.
Yep. Poitakohu galore here for the next 8 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. Greymouth looking to outlast Takura Otakotu.
Great on-ball screen, but again, both teams just doing such a good job once they get into the lane of just compressing their defense, but they came off Greymouth last. Takura Otakotu, chance to bring this back to a single point lead.
And that'll be huge for Takura Otakotu's
offense.
Well, just mindset I was looking for was if they can cut into that.
Oh, for sure.
You know, it's one thing to be down a lot, but to bring it back and to then get to single figures, it doesn't happen instantaneously. You've got to work at it. It's a small hole, but it's a hole that can either be dug out of or it can go deeper. So we'll see how this goes. Again.
And very easy to see that came off Messiah Tarima Leach.
I think Takura Otakotu, it's easier said than done, especially with some of these big bodies of Greymouth, but to box out and to try and limit just even Messiah there getting a touch on the ball that probably shouldn't be getting. As 2-on-1 opportunity for Greymouth, unselfish basketball. Messiah.
Well, you know what I always like to think, Greg? Sometimes it's just 10% luck and 20% skill.
Oh, great quote. 80% pain.
Well, it's more 15% concentrated power of will. What is it, 5% pleasure, 50% pain? And Takura Otakotu
remember the name.
Through high, converts there. And 68-60 now, 7 minutes to play. Time will not be the issue. As away comes Douglas Corona. Gets around one, lovely dump off pass.
Oh,
what an effort from Haldane there.
Huge.
On the defensive end. And at insult to injury, William England goes back down the other end and it brings us back to a double-digit lead.
4-point swing there.
Nice little pause on the catch. Kurufifi Toru.
So look, we're fast breaking again. Greymouth living in transition.
What a pass there though. Caden Miller tracked it down. Found Mulhane. But to no avail. And so we're going to see a timeout taken here on the floor.
Caden Miller has played well, the number 11 for Greymouth, getting involved. As you said there, putting the body on the line, which needs to be done. And after 6 days, it will be interesting to see how the bodies are feeling.
Yeah, well, don't forget, Single A's is 4 days, so their big crescendo is on Thursday night. And that's going to be live on Whakata Māori as well.
How good for Whakata Māori being able to bring this to audiences all around Aotearoa. You know, that's the thing as well with these tournaments, especially during the what's known as the general work days. You know, friends and family, not everyone can be here. It can be a travel thing, and B, obviously, the majority of mahi is done through the hours of 8 till 5. I know, having done mahi outside of those hours as well, it's not ideal, but you know, it is a Monday, and I'm sure hopefully we've got friends and family tuned in from all around the country. And 6 minutes 22 in a 10-point game. stay tuned too, because this could go either way.
Douglas Corona there with the little handoff. Lovely spin, and floater draws the hara. Tiki Hunia. What an absolute weapon. He's doing well.
Yeah, opportunity here. 2 at the line. Really, really good poitakohu played here from Jamal. Mechanics there look good. Unfortunately missed the shot, but they get a second chance opportunity.
And again, out come Greymouth. 3-on-2 opportunity. And Haldane just loses it off our favourite partners, Bailey's sign. And it's going to be Takuta ball down 9. 6 minutes to play.
Yeah, walled up there on offense. Managed to get body in front. Getting a stoppage. Oh, hits the bottom of the hoop.
And the hara is called. And you don't mind those ones, Greg. There's still so much time to play. You might get in the point where you need to be in the bonus with time being limited. So, fourth quarter, you don't mind giving away one of those.
Yeah, that's true. And free throw percentages, we've seen some left out there, some points left out there. So, there's no guarantees when someone does go to the line.
We don't like guarantees in sport.
No.
Haldane to the hoop.
Well, that's one guarantee. Haldane to the basket, finishing at the tupper.
Well, I'd love to know how many points he's got. You can find that out after the game if you head to nz.basketball, of course. Every game, as Tiki Hunia puts that one on, is recorded through Glory League with not live, but with stats, so you can track along leading scorers. You can tag stats. I've seen Greg somehow have a triple-double when he's been on the court for 3 minutes.
You can tag Andrew Horrocks on the gram.
You don't need to do that. Again, all feedback goes through G_Elliot12.
Oh, if we can get a basket here.
A little pakete. And again, Haldane with another tūrapa. Kicks it ahead beautifully, 2-on-1. With the left hand, a little strong. And tūrapa into the hands of Awatere, Douglas Corona.
What I have noticed on defense so far, Te Kura o Te Kotu, is even though we see the...
Kuruwhiwhi, Toru is good. 6-point game.
The transition defense, you see the ball carrier is, they're waiting till the 3-point line to pick him up. Whereas you need to be getting up further on that just to not give them ample time and space to make decisions and push the basketball.
We have a ball game now, 4 minutes 34 to play.
Oh, imagine another Kuruwhiwhi Toro here, Hoz.
I mean, court 4, it's 69-35, so why those people aren't tuning into this barnstorm is beyond me. Little floater is good. 4-point game, Greg. Hello.
Tiki Hunia. He's been in that weight room. He's doing training that back because he's carrying this team, this Te Kura o Te Kotu team. And the rest of the boys are joining in. Oh, as you see the answer there from
Jonathan Mulhane just taking a little bit of air out of the room. And it's always my favorite thing, Greg, as teams start to come in for their game and they see a close game on the show court. People stop and people watch.
Especially the guy in the Minnie Mouse ears.
That'll be some initiation. Was that an 8-second call? No, it's not. To the hoop.
I thought...
Oh my goodness.
Caden Miller had...
Razzle-dazzle footy from Greymouth there, but it ends up in the hands of Te Kura o Te Kotu.
I thought Caden Miller had a clear line to the basket there. Opted to pass, unselfish, but... Oh...
And away come Greymouth, a little bit more calm as they make their way to the hoop. And you wonder, Greg, are they going to start trying to bleed some clock? Probably need a few more points, don't they, before they do that.
A 2-basket ball game, you'd want to get a little bit more spacing. Oh,
Taka Skorona thought he was going to pull the trigger on that one. Tiki Hunia to the hoop. Draws the hara.
and he was patient there with his move. Got a little up and under fake going, and then finished on the other side of the hoop. You drive into that tall timber, you can, and be understandable that you do. Bit of a panic mode, but cool, calm, collected. Gathered himself under the hoop, and unfortunately might come to rue some of these missed free throws at the end of this.
There's again more people just walking into the stadium. St. Mary's College of Wellington making their way in.
Oh, great offensive rebound there.
Kuruwhiwhi Toru.
And again, it's Otakotu's turn to get on the glass.
And just like that, off the Papamuri. Up and in, 4-point game, 2:41 to play.
Oh, pass at the feet there, unfortunately, for Haldane.
Takura to the hoop. I tell you what, the speed of that run, Greg, I thought I was watching a young Lafita Palliasina. Haldane, and when you need a basket for Greymouth, he delivers every time.
Well, a little bit of contact there under the hoop, but
wasn't illegal though?
No.
Here's a question for you, Greg, for the kids at home. How far forward can your arms go forward when you're walling up?
45 degrees you cannot do.
That is, I mean, you're not wrong. You're allowed to go to the edge of your feet.
Oh, I
so
like
if
that.
anyone at home is wondering why Greg wears size 17s that he's been handed down from Rob Lowe, it's so that he can drop his arms a little bit lower.
Yeah, Greg Elliott and defense are definitely synonymous with one another, that's for sure.
Well, there was a clip that went absolutely viral, Greg, of you putting your body on the line this year.
Oh,
Rumor
mate.
has it that was heard over the Harbour Bridge.
Yeah, social media, me.
Good times.
Things you love to see. And there are also things you love to see is a 6-point ball game.
Something to note here, with 1:56 to play, both teams have one timeout, and you can either choose to advance the ball and you're going to get 14 seconds on the shot clock, or you can choose not to advance it and take the full 24, depending on where you're inbounding from. But I like those little wrinkles, Greg, that just make you think. As a coach, you've got so much going on in your brain and you've got to make an extra decision. It's not always the nicest thing.
Yeah, you're having to make enough tough decisions as is with your substitutions and timeouts, etc. That is another factor that can play into the game. And as we get further into these closer games, that's going to have huge ramifications for the outcome.
I know people are talking about your te reo, Greg, and the stride you're making with it, but there's some pretty big English words that you're throwing out there as well.
Yeah, as much as I was in awe of Kayla's reo, she was equally impressed with some of the English and asked me for the meanings of some of the English words. So it does go both ways, and the beautiful thing is everyone here in the commentary booth is trying to learn as best they can.
Haldane finishes the second, and it's now a 3-possession game. 1:54 to play.
Great take again.
Great finish, my goodness.
Jamal is on fire out there.
Time stops as well after each basket until the ball is inbounded.
Oh, bit of pressure here from...
Great screen. There's Haldane to the hoop. They just have not had an answer for him, have they?
He breaks the pressure and then gets to the hoop with relative ease and comfortable finish, Hoz. As the defense chant goes up for Greymouth.
That's when you know things are getting serious.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, what a finish. William England, 81-72. And they got to start going for the Kuruwhiwhi Toru here, Greg.
William England's had some really good plays here for Greymouth in this featuring matchup. Here on the main court, as we go under a minute here on the game clock. 9-point deficit. And as you,
oh my goodness.
As you said, Hoss,
no way. Haldane, I would have been asking for a replay of that all week if he got that in.
the milking of the clock looks to have started here for Greymouth. However, they'll need to get up the big red sign, the stop sign.
Well, we saw last night, no leaders safe in the last minute.
Classic break.
Douglas Corona is a little bit short on the Kuruwhiwhi Toru. Now, if they need to win this game, they probably need to foul here. Respectfully choosing not to at this stage. Still haven't.
Showing off the handle there, Haldane.
Oh, offensive foul. On the screen, wasn't set, made contact.
The
Good call from the referee.
Yeah, the defibrillator's come out, giving a bit of life here to Kura, or to Kotu.
22.7.
As Kevin Gunny would say, anything is possible.
He would say that. The foot was on the line, that's only Bearua. And so we might see Greymouth here. And we all know about ties and pool play. Are they going to try and score extra to help them out if there is a tiebreaker? Looks like they are not. So respectfully, they will dribble it out. Greymouth High School taking down Takura Otakotu 81-72. Thank you for joining me, Andrew Horrocks, alongside Greg Elliott. We're going to take a game break here on the show court, and we'll be back at 5:45, where I'll be joined by Maya Williamson.
More beautiful people.
Look at me. Look at her.
Bang.
Too much.
Sounds ominous. Keep our kaumatua cool.
Oh, you went all the way to the KKK, eh?
Hurry up. Okay.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
Kia whanau, Easy Batch here from the Tall Blacks. Can you guess where we're at today? Still don't know? Here's a little hint. Look, if you don't know now, I don't know what to tell you. Sick Neighbour Hoops is back at it again with the Hoops and Parks Bluff Edition. Come get you some oysters and shoot some hoops.
Kia ora, I'm Alan, work for Awaroa Whānau Services. We just got this main event on of opening up the new hoop here for the local kids. Just lights up their faces, eh?
So it's super important that we have this hoop down here in Bluff because it makes it accessible for all our young people and helps keep them in the game and play basketball.
As you can see, we've got a wonderful hoop behind us. How do you think this is going to positively affect the community having this new hoop here?
Probably for like people who just want to play basketball and like skate around or something like that.
More people come down, get out of the house, and yeah.
Wonderful. And there you have it. Coming in live from Bluff.
This hoop means a lot to the Bluff community. Being a smaller drive away from where they usually have to travel to play, it means that all the local people can come up and put up some shots.
So Hoops and Parks, our vision is to have a hoop in the heart of every community, and I think that's what we're doing here today. Down in Bluff, thanks to the help with Chick and Neighbour Hoops, we're trying to make basketball more accessible, get into those more isolated communities, and a good example, yeah, today in Bluff.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
This isn't about long-distance calling, technology, or living overseas.
Do I have one more bid? Thank you.
We're going to go once. We're going twice.
And we are sold to the Kiwi phone bidder from Manchester.
It's about Bailey's finding buyers that others can't.
Sport is about more than just a game. It's about going from teammates to best mates. It's the high fives and helping hands. That's why Caltex is proud to help fuel school sports.
I'm Jason Bill and we farm around the Mid-North. We took a review of our business a couple of years ago, sort of identified challenges that we had. One was profitability, and we'd noticed on our steep hill country we're getting more and more erosion. We looked around to diversify, looked at forestry to plant on our steeper country. For us, it really addressed those concerns. By doing the forest farm model, we feel like we're getting the best of both worlds. And I'm really excited and I really do believe in this model. I think it's the way of the future.
At Apollo Projects, we create better outcomes because we never make any assumptions. Like at this dairy dryer. The cladding on the building that houses the dairy dryer needed to be replaced. So they called us up. First, we inspected the cladding. The cost implications of shutting the dryer down were huge, particularly from the loss of production, which is much higher than the actual reclad costs. So we came together as a team. We said, why don't we replace the cladding while the dryer is still operational? No one had ever done that before, which meant working with the client on hygiene requirements. We wrapped the dryer in 2 layers to create a hygiene envelope, while the old panels were removed and the new ones installed, all while the dryer continued to work. By thinking outside the square and working as a team, the project was completed with no disruption to production, and it was a world first. Apollo Projects. No assumptions, better outcomes.
Feel the mana.
Can I get a higher? Do you know what it's like to be in a body that you can't connect to?
I'm not your bro.
You are a boy and not a girl!
Whatever it is, I'm here for you.
Make Māori Plus your mate. Download the app today.
This is an opportunity that we can't pass on.